and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Wrestling is Cool podcast. And we have not yet sold to the WWE network of podcasts. However, however, if somebody wants to throw a pile of money at us, Sancho, you're not even on the thumbnail. You don't even get a choice. I'm selling.
Wait, am I along for the ride? Are you?
No, you're out. You're
out.
Just like Undertaker's co-host, I'm going to bring in Michelle McCool to be my co-host of Wrestling is Cool. It only makes sense. Is your last name McCool? Does your last name have cool in it, Sancho? I didn't think so. Not in the thumbnail. Not coming along on this journey, multi-million-dollar journey. You're out.
No, I would change my name to Sancho Zap. TV, please.
It's kind of crazy that WWE's like really jumping into this podcasting network thing, right? They just bought Impulse of The Undertaker's podcast. Fire the dude. What do you want to talk about? We obviously already made fun of it. The fact that Taker's podcast had this co-host that they fired and put Michelle McCool in it. Yeah, dude. Maybe we're next. Who knows? Maybe
that'd be
we're
wild.
next.
They got the Raw Talk as well.
Yep.
I would say our show's better than a quarter of them. You know,
the Cody Rhodes one's gotten good. I've been digging the Cody Rhodes one. The first one didn't really land with me, but like the last couple with Ricky Saints and Kevin Owens have been really, really solid. But folks, welcome to the Wrestling is Cool podcast. Still an independent podcast, but happy to sell our soul to the final boss if that were to ever come along. Of course, you can find us over on patreon.com/SantiZap 3 days earlier than everywhere else on the planet Earth, alongside the Raw reviews, SmackDown reviews, our weekly match watch-alongs. This week, we're releasing a free version for the freeloaders out there if you guys would like to see our commentary and reaction to Sabu versus RVD. That will be up and available for free on the Patreon, and so much more. If you're an audio listener, you might have heard a little stinger at the beginning. Sancho, you want to tell them a little bit about that?
Yeah, you know, I do a lot of the work behind the scenes. Wrestling is Cool. Even though I'm not on the front page, I'm not on the thumbnail. A lot of it, I'm like the iceberg bottom of it. You know what I mean? I'm the big dumper at the bottom of that iceberg. You know, and I recruited the one and only Mega Ran. That's right, Mega Ran, same guy who's done the theme for the New Day. Well, New Day rocks. A new day. We got him, and he did our intro and outro, and you hear his voice in it as well. And I like it, and it has a little hints of Raw, the Super Nintendo version of the Raw theme. So you got that in there, got the sirens in there, and I love it, man. It's a good theme. I love it.
Just one more step to professionalism. See, this is what it is, right? We sell our souls to the WWE, and boom, they're putting themes in front of us, right? Soon we're gonna get Wrestling is Cool. Whenever we make our entrances to the pod, it's just the production's going up, folks. We're just getting ready for that buyout. That's all.
You don't want to know how bad the Wrestling is Cool logo was before I really started to go
That's true. You know what? We should, because I think we're coming up on our 2-year anniversary. We should do an episode with the old logos. You know, like a Saturday night's main event. We have a Jesse Ventura in here. Make it make sense. Let's do that.
Goodness.
I'm not going to tell you. One of these days, I'm going to put the old overlays and logos.
The old ropes.
Man, we have a lot to get through today. We have, it feels like 2 months of wrestling stuff happen in the span of 5 days. And I think that was sort of bound to happen when you have this much wrestling from Friday Night SmackDown, Saturday night's main event, Evolution, All-In, Great American Bash, Monday Night Raw, and then NXT immediately right after. Like, it's just been boom, 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 boom when it comes to professional wrestling.
Boom,
of course,
boom, boom, boom.
Apologize to audio listeners for the booming in your ears, but that was 5 big booms. Of course, an homage to none other than Big Justice and Big AJ.
Hey, guess what? You heard it here first as well. We're covering some AEW today. Don't click away.
Not yet. We'll put it in later in the episode for you. Just stay for the WWE stuff, and then we'll feed you the AEW stuff. Well, let's start with like the biggest stuff to come out of WWE this weekend, which is unfortunately like not good news, right? We have the Seth Rollins injury during the match against LA Knight at Saturday night's main event. Before we dive into the Seth Rollins injury, how this impacts things, I actually want to talk about LA Knight here for a second, because I want to go to bat for LA Knight here for a second. All right. Sure. The reports are that Seth Rollins was meant to win that. All right. But here's the only fundamental fact out of all of this. LA Knight won. Whether he was supposed to win or not, he won. He pinned and defeated the biggest heel in all of WWE. Was it a last-second audible? Sure. But that's the reality of the situation. LA Knight defeated the ultimate bad guy in WWE. Clean 1, 2, 3. So make it make sense how he doesn't get pushed for a world title immediately after that. It wasn't the plan, sure, but you pivoted and you made the decision to have LA Knight win. So I found it a little bit perplexing that he was just unceremoniously destroyed in the second, in part 2 of the gauntlet match. I really thought he was going to win that. Whether WWE wanted to or not, they made LA Knight the winner. And by making LA Knight the winner of that, to me, a natural progression there was LA Knight versus Gunther. Am I going to sit here and complain about about Gunther versus CM Punk? Never in a million years. I think that's a solid call. But to try and shove under the rug that LA Knight beat the biggest bad guy in WWE, like, it wasn't supposed to happen, so we're going to pretend like it didn't happen. But here's the thing, it did. It did happen, and I think they needed to do something with that victory.
Wow, I'm so happy for you. You know, I'm so happy that you've been enjoying the Glaze Factory. Now you've become one of us. Would you like to work here? I have a lot. You know, because here at the Glaze Factory, Santi, people come and go. It's amazing how every time something good or bad happens for LA Knight, people come to my chat and go, "Oh, what do you think about LA Knight? Oh, poor LA Knight, you must be." Look at here, man. The one saving grace, that silver cloud lining that I feel for LA Knight, is that he was given the best thing that Triple H loves to give baby faces. His ribs were impacted. That has to be a good thing, right? All the top baby faces in Triple H's stable, their ribs. And as soon as they started talking about my ribs hurt, and when LA Knight came out there, oh, I'm not 100%, I was like, oh no.
My ribs.
He's going to lose. And sure, did he go out in the best of way to look strong? Mehaps, me lord. But at the end of the day, he did get an L. And it just shows me that if you get yourself organic, and it's been the whole thing here at the Glaze Factory is we are organic. We get ourselves over. And once you do, there's no plans for you. Look at Karrion Kross. It's finally taken a long time to give this man vignettes. By the way, I love his new logo. The little time logo looks sick with Karrion Kross. Can I mention a third member that got themselves over organically and there has been zero plans for them? Ron Unalavines. My man has hit a big plateau all of a sudden after coming back. My man collected his paycheck, got his new contract. Awesome. And the WWE had zero plans for him. You know what he was used for? A plot device to get a match between Aleister Black and Damian Priest. Bing bong, a wepa. But hey, back to LA Knight.
But he got paid. Good for him. I'm glad he got paid. I'm glad he got paid.
Yeah, he got paid. But Seth Rollins, I do agree with you. I think it was a call on the fly that had no plans behind it. But I think that WWE just shows me that they're too gun shy about putting LA Knight in the forefront. And the one thing I wanted, the biggest takeaway I have here, Santi, about Seth Rollins' injury is we've always said the machine moves forward. And this weekend should have told you that there's plenty of people that could step up to bat here and move the machine forward. And I think they kind of panicked. And when they did that 5-man gauntlet, they're like, oh my God, we lost a big draw for SummerSlam. Put CM Punk in that title picture, and I understand that choice.
I know, I totally get the choice. And it's cool to see a bona fide megastar finally going after the World Heavyweight title. We've been kind of wondering why that hasn't been the case. I'm just throwing it out there that I think it's a little disappointing that they're not going to do anything with that giant LA Knight victory. One of the things I kind of compared it to, Sancho, and it's kind of happening with Ron Killings here too, funnily enough, that you brought him up, is that Triple H booking is inevitable. He gets his way. It's like death in Final Destination, right? In Final Destination, people avoid death that weren't supposed to, but death always comes to collect inevitably. LA Knight didn't get buried on Saturday night's main event, but he was supposed to. So Triple H is like, destiny is coming for you, LA Knight. I'm not gonna let you get over. I'll make sure it happens on Monday Night Raw instead. He didn't get buried. I'm obviously over exaggerating here. I'm just saying, even though it wasn't the plan for him to win, he still won. And I would have liked for them to do something with that victory.
I felt it was interesting when you had Gunther and, sitting up there gooning in the rafters. Like,
you're going to see the Gooner meme again with him just being up in the rafters.
It's like Sting. Why don't you just put him in the rafters like Sting, dude, just standing up there on top?
Or like with Darby Allin. I don't know if you saw the clips of him just like chilling up there on the court for like 4 minutes before he got launched down.
By the way, that arena was awesome and All-In. It looked great. It looked really cool.
No, Sancho, you can't talk about AEW yet. We're going to lose our viewers. No, not yet.
No. But yeah, dude, the whole gauntlet thing, when I saw that it was Braun Breaker, I was like, he's the only heel in this gauntlet. He has to run it if he's going to be the only one. Because I was like, ooh, we could get CM Punk and LA Knight. Like, nah, not going to happen. We could get LA Knight and Jey Uso. Nah, that ain't going to happen either. It was Braun Breaker. And of course, Jey Uso even got the old Triple H booking where Bronson Reed came out. It's just so amazing to me when they put themselves in these corners and they're like, oh, there's no DQ. And I'm like, well, why doesn't just Bronson Reed go out there and just squash whoever CM Punk? And
why wouldn't LA Knight come out with a gun? Like,
whoa, that's a whole different type of wrestling.
LA Knight. Yeah.
Jesus. You've been watching The Office a lot, man. All of a sudden, he said he had a gun. He told me to lay down. That's some WCW stuff all out of nowhere. Finger poke of doom, gat of doom. But it's just a bummer, man. And I will always hold on to this notion of LA Knight's time will come, but clearly it's not now and it's not never. And if Seth Rollins I know there's been that inkling. I saw your video as well. It's like if you're believing that Seth Rollins' injury is a work and it's not legitimate. And I know I've seen videos of even so much breakdowns of like he got hurt on the senton. There was rumors that he was hurt previously in the week and they just worked this injury so that he could be written off for a while. So many different angles, but I would argue with that if he's been written off for a while, why not write off him and have LA Knight have some momentum? Like that would be the case. Like, okay, then Monday night he would win the gauntlet or go deep into the gauntlet, maybe beat Braun Breaker in the gauntlet at least so they could keep that faction versus LA Knight thing going. But no, they don't do that. And I thought it's funny because Jey Uso, of course, came out for the save at that gauntlet match. And now that you know what happens at the end of that gauntlet match with Roman Reigns returning to OTC 1, which I don't understand why OTC coming back. You would think LA Knight coming back would have made sense to help, but of course, everything matters now that Roman's back. LA Knight moves back to the back of the bus
as always. Every time. As always, how funny though? How funny was it, Jey Uso giving Braun Breaker time to breathe by running it back mid-match?
Dude, that got me so good.
I laughed so hard. I laughed so hard, and then he runs it back again during commercial break. I genuinely thought that was hilarious. But now let's focus here on the impact of the Seth Rollins injury, presuming it's all real, right? Like let's look at all of the dominoes that this impacts. Obviously, this impacts the possibility of Seth versus Roman at SummerSlam. It looks like that's completely off the table. It impacts the push that I presume that the Oracle and the Bronze would be getting on Monday Night Raw. It probably impacts what they were going to do with the World Heavyweight title. Probably impacts what they might be doing with John Cena's WWE Championship. Because Seth Rollins, if you thought that Liv Morgan had her hand in a bunch of cookie jars, which she did, Seth Rollins was like Dr. Octopus in all the different types of cookie jars. It's Dr. Octopus. That's his name. That's the name
of
the...
You hit that puss so hard
Dr. Octopus. What do you mean that's his name?
Doc Ock, man.
Dr. Octopus. So Seth Rollins was everywhere and everywhere all at once.
Pussing everywhere.
Pussing all over the place. So obviously this impacts not just SummerSlam, but things beyond SummerSlam. I know right now that I don't want to necessarily call it the prevailing theory, the prevailing hope, I think is the better word, is that this is all a ruse, a fugazi to have him cash in immediately after CM Punk wins the World Heavyweight Championship, right? He made the promise that so long as he breathes, he will make sure that CM Punk is not a world champion in the WWE, which would be a hell of a twist, a hell of a swerve when I drive, my friend. If he does cash in on a new World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk, that would be amazing. Yes.
Is this a safe place?
Yes.
Would you hate it if Seth is still hurt, but both Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed destroy CM Punk, and a hobbled Seth Rollins walks into the ring and covers CM Punk?
Still love it.
Champion injured. You would love it.
I still love it. That would be.
It just shows you, right, how much hate he has.
That's generational level pettiness. That you have a torn ACL, and it's like, no, carry me out there, Greek god style.
Shoot the free throw still with the torn
ACL.
Yes,
yeah. Like Kobe Bryant, torn Achilles, still goes out there, hits the 2 dimes, and then disappears for a while. Honestly, that would be the one forgivable way to make the World Heavyweight Championship disappear. If it's like, okay, we don't have a World Heavyweight Champion because Seth Rollins is injured, then sure, why not? Or I think it'd be funny if he just cashes in on CM Punk, wins, and it's like, I have to vacate it. But just so long as it's not CM Punk.
And then put a tournament behind it?
Sure.
That'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. That's AJ Styles level of pettiness, taking a 16-hour flight to Perth to ruin LA Knight. Oh, yeah, there he is. AJ begging God to get Dominic Mysterio. Begging.
How funny is that AJ
I thought you would get struck down by a lightning bolt for praying.
That AJ is such a good guy that he's praying for the health of Dominic Mysterio. Praying for him to get healthy. What a good guy AJ Styles is.
It's such a Christian thing to do. Absolutely, brother.
Adrenaline in my soul.
Hey, Dom, you ever been to heaven?
I love that they were counter praying each other, kind of like WWE and AEW counter programming each other. Just like, oh, please let him be healthy. Oh, no, please, I don't want to be healthy, dude. This is the reason why I'm glad they canceled AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio. So many people tried to clown on me for that opinion, but here it is. We're actually got a story. Yeah, we got a story. We gave it time to develop. And now everyone's excited for this at SummerSlam when no one was excited for it at all going into Night of Champions.
Why did AJ Styles turn to the evil monkey from Family Guy, though?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Always do. The evil monkey always popped me in the early seasons of Family Guy.
You always got a pop out of me. Just the cheap pop from Sancho right there, the evil monkey.
Yeah. Monkey, dude.
So Seth Rollins, man, the injury obviously impacts a lot of things. I haven't really gotten your thoughts on the injury here from Seth Rollins. Do you have anything that you want to share? Thoughts?
My first initial thought was, well, then put the women back into the picture. They had a phenomenal PLE at Evolution. This would be a great opportunity to build up Naomi, to build up Rhea, to build up Io to that forefront. This is what I was saying, like the WWE, the machine keeps going, is now you have an opportunity to pivot into something different. Like put one of the nights of Saturday nights of SummerSlam for the women main event. Make that triple threat of Naomi, Rhea, Io be the main event for one of it. That's what I mean. Like this is an opportunity to take a risk, to take a shot in the dark and go like, okay, let's go ahead and take this momentum from Evolution and put it into SummerSlam by really showcasing the ladies. Give the ladies that Seth Rollins treatment of opening Raw, mid-segment, another segment, closing Raw. Like all those opportunities are there. And if you want to give the ladies an opportunity beyond just a once in 7 years PLE, if you don't want to give them an annual PLE like Evolution, and Triple H has said in the past interviews that he felt that the ladies were always stealing the show and that they were always main eventing weekly. I think it was Stephanie McMahon was kind of discussing that, is that, well, it was time for a PLE of this magnitude. But here's an opportunity, Santi, to do all those things and make it happen. And I know a lot of people are like, well, out comes Naomi, cuts a great promo, by the way, as a heel. I love that she cut down the "you deserve a chance." That was my favorite part of the entire promo. And she was like, oh, now you want to say I deserve it. And yeah, we all groaned a little when Rhea came out, like, ah. But then when Io came out, like, oh, now we got a triple threat. So let's really build this up, man. Let's really build up Naomi. Let's really build up Rhea, Io. Let's not do these weird segments where all three of them are in the ring like they did with Bianca, Rhea, and Io to Mania, where Io was ignored, and then they did that like 4 times again and again and again. Let's really dig into the weeds of this, and then we could still build out Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, and even though Naomi said they're all old news. I like this notion, man. Let's build this universe up while Seth Rollins is on ice. If it is, in fact, that he cannot go at SummerSlam or any kind of physical activity for a while.
Don't you feel vindicated by what we were saying about Naomi a couple of months ago? That Naomi as a babyface was always destined to be the 6th, 8th most popular babyface on WWE, but this heel turn had the potential to make her the top heel in all of WWE and maybe all of women's professional wrestling. And we said it's not just about Naomi's great character work that we were getting. It was also going to have to be about the top brass execution of it, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that with this cash in, the execution was absolutely nailed. And I think right now I'm confident in saying that she is the best heel in WWE. I think maybe the only competition is Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is probably the other top heel that you could really compare it to. But aside from Becky Lynch, I don't think anyone touches Naomi right now in the WWE. We are making those strides, and it's demonstrating to be true that as a heel, she has the potential to reach the top of the mountain that she never could as a babyface. She touched the top of the mountain, but then immediately got knocked back down when Bianca became available, when Rhea became available, when anybody else that was more popular became available. But right now, as a heel, the only one that is even in conversation to be in that top of the mountain as a heel in WWE is Becky Lynch.
I think as a heel in the women's division, I think, she doesn't have that go away vibe that Nia Jax has. I think there's still a big camp of those Nia Jax haters. When Nia Jax is actually a solid heel when being positioned properly, I think right now more than ever, the WWE just needs to refresh their feuds, man. It's like we need a spring cleaning for all these feuds. Like, that's why I'm excited for CM Punk and Gunther. It's a new feud, new promos. Naomi, I'm glad that she says she's done with Jade. I'm done with Bianca. I'm all right. Let's get that off the table. Now she's involved with Rhea. Now she's involved with Io. And even though Rhea and Io are kind of need to refresh as well. We need that, dude. The SmackDown division went through the whole spring refresh as well with the tag team division, with now the Wyatt Six being the tag team champions. Let's go ahead and revamp all that. And that's why I was excited for LA Knight being part of Monday Night Raw. I was like, oh, okay, now we got a whole new refresh and feuds. I think that's across the board, Santi, is that now more than ever, Naomi as a heel brings that refresh that we're looking for. And you got to compound the fact as well that she's responsible for Jade Cargill being out for months. And I think a lot of people are forgetting that that's part of her heel persona. I think they need to revisit that again. Take out somebody else. Take out a Maxine. Take out a Natalya. What a weird way for the WWE build up Natalya and Maxine as a tag team, and they do absolutely nothing with them. So just, take out Natalya. That'd be interesting. Have Natalya be the force of reason and take her out. There's so many targets that Naomi could take out to build her up her strength for SummerSlam.
I actually think that there's a strong case for the women to main event. Obviously, CM Punk and Gunther have the strongest case just because it's CM Punk and Gunther. If they do the crazy thing of Seth Rollins actually cashing in, hobbling down there, that's night 2 worthy. If you ask me, like, if that is the plan, that's night 2 worthy. I'd rather see that close the show than just John Cena getting helped by Travis Scott again against Cody Rhodes. But yeah, dude, I'm just so glad that the Naomi heel push is working, that she's getting to those levels of being the top heel in the WWE, because she's absolutely worked her ass off and frankly just deserves it. But man, can we quickly talk about Rhea and Io? how good that match was. Oh my God. I think I walked away from that match, Sancho, as that being my new favorite women's match of all time. There's a lot of competition, right? Rhea versus Charlotte, it was incredible. Bianca versus Becky Lynch and Bianca versus Sasha Banks has been up there for me. Sasha Banks versus Bayley in NXT TakeOver. Hell, we just saw a really good one on Match Club. Candice LeRae and Io Sky was an incredible women's match as well. I think this is my new favorite women's match of all time, just in terms of the in-ring that we got. We got some outside of the ring shenanigans, and then we got the big swerve with the cash, and it had it all. It had everything that I want out of professional wrestling, all mixed into one of the best technical bouts that I've ever seen in women's professional wrestling. What an incredible match that was.
The only thing it was missing was story. It was only missing a feud. It was only missing that that kind of thing that would have driven it home.
I think that came at the end, right? With the cash in, right? Because you're right. It was entirely missing like the fangs of a good story. It wasn't there, but the cash in is what gave it the fangs to be this memorable outcome that wasn't just memorable because it was a good in-ring affair, but it was memorable from a story perspective with what they did with Naomi. And also, like, I genuinely was not expecting Naomi to cash in there. Like, they actually got me with the placement of the Naomi and Jade Cargill match, with how that ended with her losing to a Jaded through a table from the top rope. I'm like, there you go. Okay, they wrote her off for the rest of the night. She's too hurt, too injured.
She's bleeding. Yeah, her
right.
nose is bleeding.
And then it happened. And it is a pleasant surprise when WWE can catch me like that, because I genuinely didn't see it. I will say, logically, I still say it makes more sense for her to have cashed in on Tiffy Jade because of the history that she's got with both of those women. Tiffy cashed in on her, the history with her and Jade. That still makes way, way more sense. We are in uncharted territory, dare I say, in a place that makes no sense. And now WWE is having to make it make sense within the next couple of weeks as we head to SummerSlam. But I don't hate it, because it's a new face for Rhea to feud with. It's a new face for Io to feud with. And then beyond SummerSlam, we already have a new face waiting in Stephanie Quay. So these are good times for the Raw women's division right now, that has been so heavily reliant on just Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky for the longest time.
The one thing I liked a lot about Rhea and Io was when they went to the outside. I was like, wait a minute, this match is now kicked up to 11.
Oh, a little bit of ear biscuits for the audio listeners. Go on.
Where it kind of, when it went into the outside, it kicked up to a whole nother level. Reminding me of those times where like Rock and Austin or Triple H would head out to the outside. Like, oh my God, we're keep going here. We're in the arena. There's a little bit of bedlam is the new word that the WWE has been using a lot. And there's chaos, and it felt so like in the whole entire time of watching that PLE, it didn't feel like I was watching women's wrestling. I was watching pro wrestling. Does that make sense? Yeah. It does still have that thing. This is great for women. I know that WWE opened up with that package with, girls playing with dolls, and all of a sudden they're getting into wrestling. And then the whole time I was watching, but I never felt like, oh, this is a great night for women's wrestling, which it is. When you take a step back, when you look at the Wikipedia page years from now, you're like, this was a very monumental moment. But in the moment, I was like, I'm watching great wrestling here. I'm watching great wrestling. From the top to bottom of the card was amazing. And then when you cap it with that and a memorable thing, it just made it feel like it was a canon event, that it needed to be solidified that way. So if they were going to do an annual thing, this would be must-see television. And I don't know how it did ratings-wise. I don't know how it did tickets-wise, but it definitely was the perfect way to end the weekend of long wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the show overall to me was a critical success. We said we're confident it's going to be a critical success. It's all about
7 matches, Santi.
Oh, I'd love to talk about that, actually. I'd love to talk about that. But I think the show was a complete success. The main event was fantastic. It's one of those like, hey, never complain about Rhea versus Io ever again in your life, all right? Because even with no
Rhea
story.
Rhea and Raquel.
All right, relax. Even with no story, Rhea and Io went out there and put on a match of the year contender. For me, maybe my match of the year. I really got to sit down and really analyze. Maybe I'll do like a halfway through the year awards or something. Yeah, I thought the show was fantastic. I really hope it's a financial success. You mentioned their 7 matches, and you guys know that I've been a big champion for the 5-match card, because WWE has historically been so bad at anything above 5 matches, right? Anything that's above 5, they find a way to make 3 or 4 of those matches be under 5 minutes. So the argument still stands. I think that WWE made a great call over the last couple of years to go down to 5 matches to make PLE matches be better and feel more special. This right here, however, showed that if WWE is actually willing to give time to those matches, then they can absolutely do 7 matches. But here's the thing, Sancho, you aren't right, because we finally got the example of it working, but every example before it was it not working. Every example before it, all right, relax, Solo. Nah. Oh.
You're not right. Every example before it wasn't right.
It's true, though. It's true, because for the longest time, man, it's just the worst booking and pacing for PLEs. I don't know if maybe it was because they didn't have very many sponsors for this, and they didn't have to do sponsored segments in between.
Maybelline,
which, by the way, so dumb. So many people were complaining about. They're like, ugh, how disrespectful to have Maybelline on a women's show. Brother, you sell water to people in the desert. An all-women's show, you put a women's brand. Why not? That's smart. That's just called smart marketing.
I would sell Taco Bell. I don't care.
In a desert?
Easy. No, I'll be sponsored by Taco Bell. Sponsored by Taco Bell. I would love it.
But
look,
dude,
man,
this was a really well-paced show. No, because you were arguing for more matches in a time when WWE couldn't do more matches because they sucked at doing more matches. No, this showed that they can. They showed that they can, and they should. But like the
look at you. You were like complaining at Mania. Where's the tag team SmackDown? Where's the SmackDown tag team? They deserve a Mania spot. Did they? That's the wrong can you're drinking out of. That's your old.
It took me a second. I was like, hang on. How old is this? But it's still cold. It's the earlier.
It's the one. It's the one you had earlier. You had before. Look, I don't want to go around the sun with you again. You know, I could tussle with you anytime. I could roll in the hay with you anytime. You know what I mean? Roll in the hay.
Roll in the hay is a totally different term. No, that is not what you think it means.
It does. We could tussle a little bit. I don't want to tussle right now. That is sex.
No,
it's not.
Yes, it literally is. No.
I'm thinking like in The Office with Dwight and Moses. You know what I mean? They're rolling around at the bar. You know they probably do. You remember that part where he's Moses?
Yes, I do.
You have to fight fear.
7 match. Worked really well.
7.
Great pace. Great
be the
pace.
Thing going forward, Sancho. You want
if
5
they make
matches
the matches like that. If they make the matches like that. I don't want 5-match cards. Sorry, 5-minute matches.
Then you know what doesn't make sense? SummerSlam being 2 nights this year. They should say it, put it back to 1 night, because there's not enough. They're going to throw it together as always, but we have 2 weeks here to build up SummerSlam, and we got a whole bunch of matches like slated on Monday night. So in your logic, sir, I do declare, Your Honor, if that Santiago wants it to make sense, and if the storylines require that, then I do declare we should cut it down SummerSlam to 1 night only this year. Thank you.
I mean, on paper, I think you could have easily done a 1-night SummerSlam. I think that they're going to be stretching this. I really think that they're going to be stretching this, especially when you tie up 3 main eventers to a jelly roll match, you know? When you tie up Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, and Logan Paul. And dude, I've been getting so many comments like, Logan Paul's not a main eventer. Shut your bitch ass up. Yes, he is. Maybe not by my opinion or yours, but by literal WWE's. He's main evented more PLEs than Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre this year. So yes, he is a main eventer, and they're tying him up also 3 main eventers to Jelly Roll, which I think is bananas, dude. I've been so vocally against this. I love celebrities in my wrestling, unless they use them like a Travis Scott. Johnny Knoxville, love it. Bad Bunny, love it.
Bad
Bunny. Here's the thing, all right, because people have been throwing this in my face. Why are you fine with Johnny Knoxville and Bad Bunny, but not Jelly Roll? The problem isn't Jelly Roll. If Jelly Roll wants to have a match at SummerSlam or WrestleMania, cool. I want to see what that looks like. When you see Johnny Knoxville's match in his debut, they used the Sami Zayn that was directionless, that was doing nothing for them. Bad Bunny's debut was a Damian Priest that was mid-card and directionless. A Miz and a Morrison that are in the mid-card. Even when Bad Bunny got a singles match, it was still a mid-card Damian Priest. This is 3 main eventers, dude. These are 3 guys that can main event PLEs, that have main evented PLEs, that you're tying to Jelly Roll. Make it make sense. Like, actually, again, if it was Jelly Roll versus one of them, okay, you're tying up a main eventer, but okay. But you're not tying 1, you're not tying 2, you're tying 3 people, and you talked about how there isn't enough to fill out a 2-night SummerSlam. Maybe there would have been if Logan, Drew, and Randy were all doing separate things, but no, they are having a match with Jelly Roll.
Okay, so when you post your reaction to that match, you're not allowed to have fun, okay? You're not allowed. All right, you're gonna sit there. You have to be straight face the entire time because it's going to be one of those matches that's going to have something crazy happen. Okay,
it better, because it's 3 main eventers. It better be crazy. It better be fun.
I'm sorry. I looked at the contract when Jelly Roll sold his song to the WWE at the very last page. A match with Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, and Logan Paul. And he's they're like,
well, if it's in the contract, if it's in the contract. No, dude, it's going to be fun. I know it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be
fun.
But
it doesn't. You could have had fun with the Miz Carmelo Hayes. You know, we could have had a lot of fun by involving names that struggled to get on PLEs while still allowing for the big stuff to be done with those 3 main eventers.
It's not as bad as, was it Jon Stewart? Is not as bad as Dana Carvey or whatever. It's not that bad, man.
Yeah, okay, but the Jon Stewart thing isn't the same, because the Jon
Stewart cause a belt? Did he not?
No. But like, you're not even comparing apples to apples. You're comparing apples to a car. Like, they're totally different, because the Jon Stewart thing didn't take away from the match existing. It just ruined the match. It just ruined the match, but it didn't take away from the match existing, because the match was actually very good. It just ruined the match. This is different. This is taking away from multiple matches existing and multiple feuds existing in the main event scene. I also hate the Jon Stewart thing with a goddamn passion. That's how. This is what I was saying earlier, right? I love celebrities in my wrestling unless they use them like a Travis Scott, and I would put the Jon Stewart thing in the same bubble as the Travis Scott thing. Interestingly enough, both involving John Cena.
I'm going to just list a couple of celebrity involvements. You just give me a thumbs up and thumbs down.
Okay.
Mr. T.
Love it.
Thumbs up. Mike Tyson.
Love it.
Love it. Johnny Knoxville.
The best. I'll say the best.
Rob Gronkowski.
Whatever. Didn't change anything. He was in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and helped Mojo Rawley win. Didn't impact anything. Thumbs up.
You remember when the security guard grabbed him?
Yeah.
Did not understand.
Yeah. And he wasn't he one of the hosts of WrestleMania?
Yeah. And the Thunderdome. Yeah. Drew Carey was the guy I was talking about.
Whatever. That's fun. Whatever. Wow. He didn't eliminate anybody from the Rumble. He just got tossed out. Whatever. Maybe, I don't know. Was he that big of a star? I don't know. Whatever. That's one of those where it's like, it didn't impact anything. I guess you can make the argument somebody lost a Rumble spot for it, though. There is that argument.
Oh, I Show Speed. W.
Yeah, I Show Speed for sure.
I Show Speed in the Prime bottle. W.
KSI in the Prime bottle. W.
Dude, that spot got me so good. Dude, you know, I'm surprised The Weeknd has not been involved in WWE. He's like the most Mania songs.
That's true.
Yeah. He has to write in that clause, match at SummerSlam.
Match with Jelly Roll. Listen,
dude, it's amazing though. Like legitly though, I think he
legitimately
something here. Like legitimately though. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, but you said legitly, and I'm just correcting you and shaming you. It's legitimately.
Don't care. Anyway,
legitimately.
Without Austin Theory and Grayson Waller to be that person, who else are you going to put Jelly Roll with? Carmelo Hayes, probably? Like, no. Okay, who's the mid-carder you would put with Jelly Roll? That's not... Because when people were, like, floating the idea of the dirt sheets of Logan Paul versus Jelly Roll, I was like, that's not going to work. Logan Paul's not a ring general. Logan Paul cannot kind of script a match. He can't really coach somebody, walk somebody through. I would agree LA Knight versus a Jelly Roll, because Jelly Roll can work with LA Knight. LA Knight can call a match in the ring. Jelly Roll versus a Randy Orton. Sure, he could kind of work the one RKO and that's it, right? There's so many things that you could fight. If Gunther could get a great match out of Goldberg, somebody could get a great match out of Jelly Roll. It's not Logan. So, mid-card wise, who would you think could work with a Jelly Roll? Let's
the answer legitimately,
if it's in the contract. Go ahead.
Legitimately, the answer is 99% of the roster.
Give me names.
You could throw out American Made out there. American Made versus a returning Otis and Jelly Roll. I think I just booked something better than what they actually have right there. Right? Maybe a babyface Austin Theory lines with Jelly Roll to go up against
Grayson Waller, New Day. Grayson Waller, New Day.
Grayson Waller, New Day. Right?
Yeah. All right.
You could do something here with Carmelo Hayes and The Miz versus Jelly Roll and Ron Killings, who's doing nothing right now. Right?
Right.
There are options here, is what I'm saying. And all options can lead to the same level of fun, because I know it's going to be fun. I'm a huge supporter of celebrities in my wrestling. I love it. My gripe is the amount of resources that are being invested in this. When you had other valuable resources that could get you the same level of excitement and fun out of this, but you went with you threw gold at a problem that just needed a bit of copper.
You ever played StarCraft 2 and you just started to invest in
I got the Platinum League. That's which isn't that good, but I got the Platinum.
I was always a Protoss, right? I love Protoss. And I absolutely love doing the tank.
Yeah, I'm a Terran. Yeah.
Terran, eh?
It's a human race.
Wow. Oh yeah. The Terran race.
Yeah.
That's what I like. I like doing the tank siege strategy. You ever done that strategy before?
Wait, were you about to roast me for being a Terran, but you were actually Terran?
Yeah,
and you messed up. Okay.
Yeah, I messed up. When you would do the siege, the tanks, where you just spend all your resources and you just did not care about defense, and you just try to rush in and get all those Zergs out.
Hell yeah!
I absolutely love that, dude. And then the other strat I would do a lot is the nuke. That was a lot. That was you're shooting for the moon on that one, dude.
That one you're hoping your opponent doesn't attack you.
Right? You're hoping that they don't see your little scientists out there. Because you have to get the ability to shroud them too, so that they could go in and then beep. But that felt like you think that's what they're doing here, huh? They're going for the home run. Then what Randy and Drew, I think a lot of I wouldn't mind Randy being attached to this. I think the reason why you would feel bad that Randy's attached to a Jelly Roll is because you're like, oh, there was something there with Cody. They haven't really developed Cody, and there's something there with John. There's all those tangibles that are on the table left still. I think where a lot of people have problems with the most is that Drew McIntyre is involved in this. Like, that's the one that you feel like, well, Logan sure makes sense because Logan's all about working with celebrities, the biggest names, Logan and Jelly Roll. We were digesting that. We were like, okay, we could accept that. But then when you add Drew McIntyre pairing up with Logan, you're like,
makes no sense. It makes no sense. They have nothing in common.
They just look like it looks like a WWE Universe year 5. You know? You're like, oh, okay. It looks like Drew and Logan are together. They could lean into Drew's a troll online, a keyboard warrior, sure. And I'm hoping that we get entertaining segments with them. I like the way Drew dressed. It just showed me that Drew understands that he needs to look like a I don't know, like an internet tech guru almost, with the big shades and the blazer jacket. They could lean into that, but it's just one of those things that's like, if you don't enjoy it now, it's going to be hard for you to enjoy the build, but the match is going to be the thing that's the most enjoyable part.
Again, it freaking better be. It better be when you put that many names and that many resources attached to this. Dude, Jelly Roll better do a shooting star press off the top of a cell, all right?
It's a choke slam, dude. That's his finisher. Look, here's what's going to happen.
No, I want a Jelly Destroyer. I want a Jelly Destroyer.
Jesus. I could tell you his moveset right now.
Okay, hit me.
Spear. Mm-hmm. This is the easiest thing to do. A lot of... what's interesting is I noticed that Logan does not know how to sell jelly yet. Like, he can't figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, he's like overdoing it, right? It's like I know Jelly could be a strong guy, but he's not brawl over 3 times and be like, oh my God, this guy is the strongest guy on earth.
He's Shawn Michaelsing against Hulk Hogan here.
So I think Jelly's going to do the choke slam. He's going to do the spear. I think his finisher is going to be the world's heaviest slam, the Mark Henry slam.
I think it's going to be the choke slam. I like the choke slam because that's all the opponent doing the work, right? Just jumping up.
He could do the Mark Henry slam. I mean, it's just the guy jumping and he falling on him.
Sure.
He's not gonna like lift him. The guy gonna jump and then bam, one of those. I don't know, man.
I don't think either of us are allowed to enjoy it.
I want to enjoy it because I think Logan has that ability to make a match special.
You must agree this is a bad idea, though, right?
No, look, Money in the Bank, John Cena and Logan Paul versus Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes was a bad idea. Mm-hmm. Am I wrong? That match was not good. It was terrible. And then Logan did the drone splash, and then that match kicked up to a whole new level. And I was like, ooh. And I think Logan's going to be the X factor that kicks up this match to a whole new level. And if we get a Randy Orton heel turn here somewhere.
Oh, God, no. No, you cannot attach the heel turn with Jelly Roll. I don't mind the idea of Randy turning heel on that show. After the match, he punts Cody Rhodes. I need that heel turn to be on Cody, not on Jelly Roll.
Jelly jailbird.
And then what's going to happen afterwards? What, Cody's going to cut a promo like, Randy, like, how could you do that to our good friend Jelly Roll? I'm sorry, there's more of a Triple H, but
a little bit of Triple H. Or Cody Rhodes running to the ring. Squirt. Adrenaline on Jelly Roll.
Roman Reigns is back.
No, it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea.
No, it's not a good idea. Roman Reigns has returned. I based on like the scheduling, it seemed like it would have been to have a match against Seth Rollins. Obviously, right now that's off the table. He comes back to save Jey Uso.
And Simple.
It seemed like it was just like in the process. I also, without it trying to save CM Punk, but I was there to save Jey. It looks like we're setting up Roman and Jey versus the Brawns here. I think the bigger match here would have been Roman versus Braun
James
Breaker.
And Brawny James?
Nice, imagine. That's plan B. It's Brawny James. Oh, man. It'll be like Braun for 2 misses.
Get heat off of Jelly Roll.
Oh, man.
And Brawny James, dude.
Brawny James with that disgusting 2.4 points per game, baby.
He's an NBA player making money.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't need to make money. He's already got generational wealth with daddy.
Yeah, but he wants his own money.
I mean, it would just be another Nepo baby in the WWE. We've already got plenty of those.
Me and the wifey, okay? I want my own bank account. You know what I mean? Don't you want your own monies?
I want my own monies. That's true. This is why I sold to WWE and cut you out. This is why I cut you out.
Fair enough.
They're like, hey, we want to buy the podcast and we want to bring on everyone from your team. We assume the people on the thumbnail are the ones on your team. Yep. Just me. Good stuff. Tag team match. How you feeling about the tag team match here?
It's gonna be another Bloodline Rules, man. It's the thing that the Triple H has conditioned me to believe that is not gonna be a clean tag team match. There's not gonna be a definitive winner. I like the idea of putting Roman back into the fray with Paul Heyman to ruin up his new gig as the Oracle. That's fun, and I think that's gonna lead to some fun promos. And Paul Heyman cutting that great promo against Gunther with Braun Breaker there was cool, and let me know that could keep going. Now that Seth Rollins is gone, I think Bronson Reed is going to be the one now that's ultimately going to go down the totem pole, unless they bring in that third person that could maybe help out the fourth in Austin Theory, which I don't think is going to happen now. There's just so many things that I feel like this feels like a filler. I always feel that the WWE, when they pivot, exciting things happen. And I think the most exciting thing out of this Seth Rollins injury pivot has been CM Punk and Gunther. This right here feels like it's a step down to whatever they were planning with Roman. And unless they try to find they re-explore that story that Roman Reigns never apologized to Jay, if they really lean into that harder, because Jay kind of just fell in line for War Games, I'm hoping that they could kind of go back to that and let's explore that notion, because I feel like Roman's best when there's family drama surrounding him, or Roman's best when he's just the ultimate heel as the tribal chief. But do you remember that promo that Roman Reigns did where he was hobbling like Seth Rollins? And he's like, "Oh, you are the workhorse for sure. You work 10 times more than me, but I make tribal chief money.
I'm on the tribal chief schedule."
Yeah. So yeah, I'm like, I don't think we're gonna get back to that Seth Rollins for a while. So why not go to the second thing that is best for Roman, which is family drama?
Sure. It does definitely feel like like we're having to settle, right? We just know that this was supposed to be bigger and better for Roman.
Gotta meet in the middle.
Yeah, I just don't think that the injury with how big it is allows us to meet in the middle. We're meeting pretty low on the totem pole here. I don't think it's the middle.
Put Roman and Jelly Roll together. Well, I don't know why
you're
complaining so much.
Why not? You know what? At this point, let's just keep burning main eventers here. I don't think that we have enough in there. Yeah, let's just throw Roman right in with Jelly Roll. I love it. That's the way to go.
Team Jelly Roll versus
War Games at SummerSlam. Team Jelly Roll. This is Team John Stewart.
Make it like John Moxley and Hangman Page and All In, but with Jelly Roll and Logan. People keep making cameos, dude. Oh, here comes Roman. Here comes RKO, Randy Orton. Just keep throwing everybody in, dude.
It does feel special when Roman's around, though, right? Like when that music hit, I'm like, oh man, oh, I miss this. He really is just such a special draw for the WWE. They just don't have a Roman, right? Like nobody has reached that level.
No one has a Roman.
Nobody. No wrestling promotion has a Roman. No WWE doesn't have another Roman that they can rely on. Like he's just so special, man. That is Akuma, yeah. But dude, we got Guile. We have Guile as well. Dude, that is a top 10 video game tune.
That's top 3, dude.
You think so? Okay. All right. What are your top ones?
I do like. Oh, okay. But I like weird stuff. Like I like Kirby's green.
That's a good one. No, that's a solid one. That's not weird. I co-signed that one.
That's a good one. I think I know you could say Mario is up there, and I know there's like a variety of different games, but Nintendo always has the best bangers in my opinion. But I do like the Legend of Zelda's Fairy Fountain.
Oh,
even though it's not like a triumphal thing. I like that one a lot.
No, you got some good choices. I vibe with that.
Thank you. I mean, I think the best soundtrack is the Super Smash Brothers ones because they have them all.
Oh, that's cheating. That's cheating.
I know that's cheating. Yeah. But it's really good. Well, so let's just make a Jelly Roll video game. Make Jelly Roll Fortnite.
Dude, we should just talk for 2 hours about Jelly Roll. Just a 2-hour Jelly Roll podcast. Jelly Roll is cool.
If you like Jelly Roll as a fan, like you were a Jelly Roll stan and you go to his concerts, you kind of hype for this, right? Like this is the play that they're making here. Would you be more hype for if it was IShowSpeed and Randy
No
Orton?
Celebrity needs this.
No celebrity?
No.
But like, there is history between IShowSpeed and Randy Orton. You care telling me that Logan Paul and IShowSpeed versus Drew or versus Randy or somebody else? That'd be cool.
Look, Randy Orton versus IShowSpeed singles match, sure.
Ooh.
But it's the amount of Randy Orton caliber superstars that are being used here.
What would Randy be doing then?
Triple threat with John Cena and Cody Rhodes. Already infinitely
your little
better.
fantasy booking didn't come true, and you're whining.
You know what? I could have gotten anything else, and it would have been better than the usage of Randy Orton here. It would have been. This is a waste of a Randy Orton SummerSlam year. It just is. It just is.
I think Randy Orton's trajectory got derailed when Kevin Owens got injured. Right? I think ever since then, Randy has been directionless. Because then he faced Joe Hendry, right? That happened at Mania, and then what has Randy done since?
John Cena.
Okay, and then that went nowhere because he never got his due run back, right? He was in line, and then he lost to.
Yeah, but
Cody,
it looked
right?
like they were setting something up with the Cody Rhodes stuff, and then they just decided to go with Jelly Roll instead.
It's a panic play, dude. They're not selling SummerSlam tickets. It's expensive. You see how expensive SummerSlam is?
I'm not going. I'm not gonna go. Like,
Well, you're not allowed in the States. I don't know what to tell you.
It's true, man. Ice is just waiting for me right there, man. All right, well, let's move on here. Let's talk a little bit more about stuff that's happened in Evolution. The women's triple threat was fantastic. Lyra, Becky, Bayley. We had a follow-up match after Becky won between Bayley and Lyra, number one contenders. Best out of three falls match. An incredible match there between Lyra and Bayley. I'm not going to lie. I'm shocked they went with Lyra here. I'm not going to complain because Lyra and Becky has been amazing. Their match at Backlash, Money in the Bank, the involvement of the two at Evolution has been nothing but excellent. I didn't think that they would leave Bayley off of WrestleMania and SummerSlam in 1 year. And I thought that this was a perfect play for them to pay off Becky Lynch attacking Bayley to really kickstart all of this. But they ended up going with Lyra Valkyria, which, again, I'm not going to complain about, but I was surprised that they didn't go with Bayley. What did you think there with the result? Were you expecting Bayley as well, or did you think it was par for the course to go with Lyra?
My reasoning for Bayley is because I thought Bayley needed to win the most. I feel like Lyra could take an L. She's young. She's a rookie, or she's like a sort of green there. And then Bayley is the one that's been just losing so much. Like everywhere you turn, Bayley's losing the most. The only thing Bayley, after her Royal Rumble win and her championship run, it's just like even her championship run had no gusto to it. And Bayley's been those ones that she's been the Seth Rollins of the women's division, desperately needing to win. And I don't even think a heel turn would make Bayley any better right now because Naomi's the one that should take that spotlight the most, unless she pairs up with Naomi. But I don't see that happening. I feel, as a Bayley stan, I feel lost with Bayley because what are they going to do? She went away after Mania and she came back even stronger, dude. She was fit. Is the thing for Bayley is waiting for little Bayley to make it to the WWE and have a big match or something? Like, is the WWE waiting for that card to fall? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I forgot her. Izzy, I think is her name.
Izzy, yeah, and she's like in San Antonio wrestling right now.
Yeah, she's just 18 though. It's like she's still very, very young.
I'm surprised she's not in the WWE ID program.
Yeah, I'm sure she will be. I think it's inevitable. But yeah, dude, I'm kind of with you. I thought that Bayley kind of needed this the most, but here we are. But I thought Lyra, I thought the match was fantastic. I honestly kind of just wanted another triple threat at SummerSlam because it was so good at Evolution.
Well, I feel like Bayley also had a thing with Roxy, right? The role model and the.
Oh yeah, that was a thing because we thought that was going to be a Mania match. Yeah, and then Roxy got left off the Mania card. Yeah, I remember that.
And then Roxy went to Judgment Day shenanigans, so now she's in the summer camp of Judgment Day. So, unfortunately, for Bayley, I think that is for me was my immediate thought because I know Lyra and Becky's going to be fine. Lyra's promos against Becky are not the best. I mean, give her more cracks at it. Maybe we'll hit something by SummerSlam, but. Becky, I think this is more of her showcase. This is Becky even coming out on Monday Night Raw to challenge her with the belt wearing yellow and red. It was great.
You like that? The yellow red? The
yellow Becky and red, and then her stopping at the Becky Hogan sign, not an accident, an Evolution, to talk about how it's, she's the champ. And I think what's the biggest takeaway from Evolution, because that was a fun triple threat like we talked about, was I always enjoy, and I said this in my review, was triple threats where they always do callbacks from the previous singles matches, and they did all that, and then Becky's standing there with that crazy crucifix type of pin, pack slide pin. That the IC title means so much more to me than Tiffy's title.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fair. 100%. I think
there's so much more. It feels like it's the world heavyweight title right now.
I think that women's IC title is the most important title in women's wrestling right now because it's the women's world title that Naomi has. it went through a hiatus of like not appearing, right? So Naomi's kind of starting from scratch. Obviously, she has two big names coming after the title, and then Stephanie Vaquero waiting in the wings. That makes that title feel special. But like just grassroots. If I were to tell you, if you didn't know which one was the world title, and I just kind of explained the lineage of the two over the last 6 months, I think 99% of people would think that the IC title is the world title. I genuinely think that it's been booked the absolute best. The division, the people within the division, the title feels special. They've been knocking it out of the park with the IC title.
Especially now that, when you think about it on Evolution, that Tiffany Stratton match alongside with Trish Stratus, that felt like a more intercontinental type of fight. What I also enjoyed about Evolution was like there was a lot of clean finishes. There were shenanigans finishes, but most of them were the clean. And I don't consider a Money in the Bank cash-in a dirty finish or like a whatever finish, because that's the beauty of the Money in the Bank.
That's the rule. It's within the rules. It's within the rules.
It's in the rules. But back to the IC title, it feels really important, and Becky should be credited for bringing that legacy. And I just felt like Bayley versus Becky was a bigger draw right now at SummerSlam than Becky versus Lyra. Because that's two of the four horsemen going at it at a SummerSlam for the IC title. And where does Bayley go? Don't know, man. Wherever Carmelo Hayes is hanging out in.
Well, the other one of the 3-4 horsewomen, Charlotte, is getting pops, brother. She was getting "We Want Charlotte" chants, which is just so funny considering like where she was after winning the Royal Rumble. We're completely in upside down land with Charlotte Flair. You know that I've been a big proponent of Charlotte Flair. Like I think that she's fantastic. I've stuck with her as a fan through thick and thin, even though I fully acknowledge people's complaints about Charlotte Flair. I get it. I totally get it. Death taxes Charlotte Flair winning everything, but I've always stayed as a fan of her. So it is kind of funny seeing all it took was a slight directional shift away from the world title picture, giving her somebody to bounce off of like an Alexa Bliss, and giving her a little bit of charisma and personality, and boom, megastar pops like she's been getting, like she got in that tag team match. A very good tag team match, by the way. A tag team match that I'm actually pleasantly surprised that Judgment Day won, because I'd like to see them continue to build themselves as champion. But I do think that the end goal here should be Charlotte and Alexa. I feel like that's the allies of convenience is a really, really fun shtick here that they've got going.
One of the things that kind of stuck out to me is when Michael Cole, who he called in the hot tag, was like, it's the 14-time champion. And you kind of think like, okay, John Cena is celebrated as the 17-time champion a lot, right? And he's revered. And I know, granted, Charlotte has been mostly heel most of her title runs, but she's typically a face in some of them. And the presentation of Charlotte has always been the Ice Queen. And I feel that kind of created this layer of it kind of made her like we didn't understand who she was, and she was not relatable. But then when she released that Player Tribune article, became a little vulnerable, expose herself who Ashley was, the character beyond Charlotte herself. I thought that did wonders. And also it worked really well that they were in Flair country. That was a huge thing, being in Atlanta, Georgia. And it's interesting to me how perception can be easily changed with a raucous crowd for that superstar. We've seen it time and time again. I mean, Karrion Kross in Providence was huge. That turned a lot of eyes towards Karrion Kross. Thinking about LA Knight out there in Saudi was a huge thing as well. France and Jey Uso kind of turned that whole tide over for Jey Uso. And I think this moment with Charlotte, in that also in the match ring psychology of her saving her, Alexa Bliss from Zarya, that it did wonders for her. And I'm hoping that we find that new layer of Charlotte Flair that is not the Ice Queen. And I'm hoping she doesn't turn heel on Alexa. Like, they could actually be like, hear me out here, walk down with me, Santi, the Golden Lovers of the WWE. Not to that extent of what Omega does with the.
Who are they? The Golden Lovers, in case of those that don't know. Omega and Ibushi.
Kenny Omega and Ibushi, right? Like they have these long history of in New Japan and all the variety of different promotions where they were just this awesome tag team, and they had this platonic love for each other. And it was always like those anime shows is not like this ultimate platonic love, but they just love each other, man. There's nothing deeper than that. There was just a strong love that there would be bros forever, and that the Golden Lovers were always the ones that they could always bring back together. And if they could start this with Alexa and Charlotte, that'd be awesome. I think it would benefit Charlotte a lot. And if Alexa turns heel and goes back into her Wyatt Six ways, I think that would add a lot to Charlotte's much more of a positive reaction to her. And I think that she needs it. She needs that confidence boost again, because she was kind of spiraling out of control after what happened with Chicago and Tiffany Stratton in that build to Mania.
Hey, I'm glad that Charlotte Flair is in the good graces with most fans right now. I do think they're probably just gonna hit the Charlotte Flair turns on Alexa Bliss button at some point.
Don't do that. No, believe in love, golden love.
It's gonna happen, dude. You know how WWE is. They like to do the heartbreaks here. When was the last time we had a tag team where we thought they were gonna break up but didn't? Was that
Austin Theory and Grayson Waller?
Well, that's a different thing. That's yeah. I guess that's an example right there. But like I'm talking more so like, oh, they don't like each other. They came together, and then we were waiting for the heel turn, and it always came. Somebody always attacked the other one. Is there an example where they didn't?
Well, the only ones I'm thinking of the opposite way was like, I feel like this tag team is familiar, like the kind of like the same, is Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. Like this is kind of like the same kind of
turn happened.
Right, that's what I mean.
The turn happened.
It turned happened, and
maybe Cesaro, Sheamus.
Maybe
they stayed as a proper tag team.
They did. That made Jericho leave the WWE, by the way, because he did not get a main event spot because he had the biggest story going into Mania.
Yeah, and then Goldberg came around. It's Goldberg season. Took the title off of Kevin Owens and made the match between Kevin and Jericho for the U.S. title, which apparently Vince hated. Apparently he hated. Okay, well,
I can't think of a tag team that were together that was you were thinking that they were split and then never pulled the trigger on.
Because they always do. They always pull the trigger. I'm sure there's an example out there that people will leave for us in the comments. I don't know.
I've always felt that way. I mean, even LWO, they always broke up too with Ray as a tag team. Poor Ray always got turned on.
They always break up, brother. They always break up, and I think that's going to happen.
And then I got a voicemail saying that I'm no longer your friend. I got sad.
All right, so talking about evolution, let's kind of keep going through here. We can do this one real quick. We had WWE pull the trigger on the Blake Monroe heel turn off the back of them. Yeah, off the back of her recent debut on WWE, off the back of her heel babyface debut win at Great American Bash, and then the very next night they have her turn on Jordynne Grace. I think WWE is just like, we know why we paid for you. We know what we want out of this work relationship here, Blake Monroe. We want heel Blake Monroe. I think she was playing a good character as a babyface. I was really entertained. But at the end of the day, we were all expecting this to happen inevitably, because this is the role that the side of morality that made her really popular in AEW as a heel. And I'm sure the reason why WWE was so high on her to sign. But it does feel a little bit, premature, a little early, almost like maybe you should have just started there as a heel. But I think WWE just wanted to get the heel turn moment. But I think this was always inevitable. And okay, so they pulled the trigger early on it. Blake Monroe versus Jordynne Grace is the feud we've got here moving forward, probably for the rest of the summer, and it's going to be solid. I thought it was cool that they decided to pay this off and give the big moment on a main roster show as opposed to just an episode of Tuesday night, maybe to entice people to go check out the women's division over on NXT.
I did enjoy JC Jane a lot in this match. I got my first introduction to her, and I thought that during the match, I was like, oh no, I think JC Jane is going to win. I didn't know it was going to be a turn, but I just felt like there was a lot of good aura coming from JC Jane, and she felt like a triple, like a HBK type. Well, she was wearing HBK type of gear, but the only thing about that match, it did feel like an NXT match surrounded by main roster matches. Even though hear me out, I know it's an NXT match, but the quality still felt developing. Does that make sense? Like the in-ring quality wasn't main roster ready. Even though most of the time some NXT championship matches are beyond main roster ready, that one didn't really feel like it had that oomph moment to it. I don't know if it's a Jordan Grace thing. I don't know if the chemistry was there.
I think it's because you don't watch them. You weren't invested in them.
No. I am. And I've seen Jordan Grace wrestle before better matches than that. That's what I'm trying to say. Even Jordan Grace versus Julia had a little bit more oomph than that one. Because it just felt like it was surrounded by higher quality matches beyond that. Does that make sense? Like everything that night, besides the Battle Royale, was really high up there.
Yeah, I think the match landed with me. I thought it was very good. I get what you're saying in that it kind of gets lost in the shuffle of like the bigger names, but I don't think it got lost in the shuffle in terms of quality. It maybe like because it's sandwiched between a match of the year contender in the IC title triple threat and a match of the freaking decade contender in Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. But I thought this was better than Tiffy versus Trish, personally. I don't think that this Tiffy
versus Trish was stiff. That was mad stiff.
But I even thought that match was good. I even thought that was good. For me, as somebody that's been invested in the NXT brand, I liked it. I really liked that they decided to pay it off here. That they paid it off here in on the main roster show.
I figured it out. It's because I was shocked at how poorly Jordan Grace is being portrayed. That's what it is.
Professional loser. 4 straight. She's turning into the Buffalo Bills. This is her 4th NXT Women's Championship match. It lost all of them.
But that's what I'm trying to. That's where I think that's where my hangup is. And maybe I was using the wrong terminology with quality. I feel that a Jordan Grace match, the momentum she had coming into wrestling in the WWE, the hype behind her with the Royal Rumble spots appearances, the TNA Knockout Champion. And yeah, when she went down to NXT, I was like, okay, that's where she wanted to be. She wanted to develop. And then I saw a promo recently from NXT where she's like, I don't belong here. I feel like I don't belong. She was second guessing herself. And I was like, this is a very strange promo from someone who is a veteran in wrestling and going up against someone who is so green and JC Jane and alongside with the rest of her faction. I think that's where I was let down by that. I did not feel like this was a Jordan Grace that I've seen wrestle before. Does that make sense? And I think that's where I felt like, okay, this felt like an NXT match because Jordan Grace is not at her full potential, or I haven't seen Jordan Grace hit that stride that she has so effortlessly before. So when they protect Jordan Grace and I was hoping for stronger moves against the rest of the faction to be like she's in control, and then Blake is the one that's that X factor that stopped her. So the way they kind of did the heel turn with the one thing, I was like, oh man, Jordan Grace is just being jobbed out. In a sense, yes, she's protected, but it's like, when is she going to win? I thought Jordan Grace would be main roster ready sooner than that, and I think that's why I was a little bit let down by that match, because it was like, this could have been a great opportunity to get Jordan Grace trained, moving on to get to that main roster with that match at TNA, like we talked about. And that didn't happen for a Blake Monroe heel turn that was just so super early, 2 weeks in.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is, Santi. Now that we discussed it,
I think I think Blake Monroe versus Jordan Grace is going to win people over, though. I think that feud is going to be excellent. I disagree with your assessment of it pretty much from head to toe. I thought this match was excellent.
You thought Jordan Grace was good in it?
Yes,
the best that she's been as a professional wrestler.
Well, no, that wasn't your question. Your question was she was good. I don't think that was her best match ever.
That's what I'm saying. I was let down because I was expecting at Evolution, a PLE that's only happened 7 years, that we would get monumental movement for Jordan Grace, for the people to go like, that's a future superstar that's going to win the heavyweight championship.
Okay.
I didn't get that from that.
All right. Moving on here within Evolution, I don't necessarily need to break down the tag team match because we already kind of talked about it, but I kind of wanted to talk about Sol Ruca. 3 matches in 3 days. Great showing on her debut on the main roster on SmackDown. Hell of a match against Izzy Dame at the Great American Bash, and the physical MVP of that tag team match in terms of the moves that she did, the moves that she took. My God, that spear from Zarya is insane. I feel like Zarya might have the best spear. It might be up there with Braun Breaker. It's a nasty, nasty spear. I think it looks awesome when Zarya does her spear because she does it to women
Like a rhino.
and they just fold. They just fold, right? There's not that stiffness that a big 200+ pound guy might have, that right? That can't really give that folding visual of a Braun Breaker spear. But Sol Ruca, my goodness, she is a gem for the WWE. This is a potential cornerstone of the women's division that WWE can rely on here for the foreseeable future. Young, very talented. Yes, she's had a very severe knee injury already. Fingers crossed that never comes back. But just on her performance this weekend alone, I'm so glad that she was exposed to main roster fans that haven't seen her before, because the conversation online about Sol Ruca was so positive. So many people saying she needs to be called up immediately. Hold your horses. For the Sol Rucas of the world, I want the Braun Breaker treatment. I want the Trick Williams treatment. Leave them there to marinate as long as they need to. As long as they need to.
Santi, you're gatekeeping the greatness of Sol Ruca. The reason why, here's my argument against that, because I'm in that camp that she should have been called up a long time ago, but now is the perfect time more than ever. She should definitely be on the SmackDown main roster now. It's a 2-hour show. There's not going to be a lot of opportunities for her to overexpose herself, promo-wise or character-wise. She is needed on SmackDown to provide that oomph, to provide that athleticism that could get her over. Just because the 2-hour show is truncated, she's not going to be in a lot of backstage segments. She's not going to walk out to the ring to cut a promo and sit there and hold court for 5 minutes. She's going to be used sparingly. And I think having her on SmackDown right now while the iron is hot is more important than ever than to have her marinate another year in the background in NXT.
In the background of NXT, the forefront of NXT.
Campaign to the main roster, dude. Like, her time's now, man. Put her on
disagree.
there. We've had this discussion for like 6-7 months ago, where I was like, put Sol Ruca on. Sol Ruca's amazing. At the time, she had the Soul Snatcher was like the hottest thing in wrestling. It still is. It's a great move. But I'm just saying now, with SmackDown being 2 hours, she could fit in just right and won't be this huge like overexposure.
I think you put her on SmackDown right now. I think that she's not ready. I can't pinpoint to you a great Sol Ruca promo.
Is it a promo thing?
Literally, it is. Because right now she is right now, Sancho, in her first storyline. Because before she was in matches and she was dazzling us. This is her first actual story. The stuff going on with Zarya, Izzy Dame, Tatum Paxley, where we're actually seeing her be a character as opposed to like, look at her awesome moves in NXT Level Up or in the lower card of NXT. She's been moving herself up. Everyone is sold physically on Sol Ruca. I don't think that there's a person yet that can confidently say Sol Ruca is ready from a character perspective, because we haven't seen a character Sol Ruca just yet. This is why I want her until at the very minimum after, like, I want her to develop this story, have a great match at NXT Stand and Deliver, maybe main event a Stand and Deliver in the women's division, a women's world title opportunity down in NXT. I just want to see more Sol Ruca stories before we can say, hey, just put her in 3-minute segments on SmackDown. Because 3-minute segments on SmackDown, like, let's talk about Karrion Kross. If Karrion Kross wasn't an excellent character worker, he doesn't get over because he got such little time. The little time that you're saying Sol Ruca would get on SmackDown would have to be almost entirely character driven, which I haven't seen yet, which is why I want her on NXT longer. A little longer. I'm not saying years, brother. But I'm saying I think we have a winner here with Sol Ruca, and I don't see this glaring need that you see in the women's division for a Sol Ruca. I would rather a Sol Ruca be thrown in the main roster when we have polished this diamond.
I know, man. I see a prospect ready to go. You want to put him on the bench? I want him on QB1. You tell me.
Not the bench, bro. She's my starting point guard in my developmental league.
Yeah, I'm telling you, she's beyond J League, all right? Put her in the NBA. Look, the point I wanted to make to you is you talked about someone who can't cut a promo that well and it's athleticism. That's Lita, dude. Lita did not find her promos for a long time, and then she finally got there. I think we put Sol Ruca out there, let her do her thing. And
how long was she out there for? How long was she out there before she became a single star? How long was she a valet, a background character to the Hardys?
Like a long time.
Okay, a long time. Longer than Sol Ruca has been a player on NXT.
I'm thinking that the iron's hot. The tables are hot, as Nate Schott would say. All right?
What about Lash Legend?
Legend?
Lash Legend going to the going deep in that battle royale. Is the iron hot there for you?
No.
Okay. No. Why?
Absolutely not. I was not a fan of that battle royale, man.
It sucked. It sucked.
The battle royale, I saw so many glaring things, and you're talking to someone that watches a lot of Royal Rumble. And when you got to that point of the battle royale in the Royal Rumbles, when you hit 15 superstars plus in the ring, it becomes problematic. And the battle royale was very problematic right from the get-go. They tried to do the stare downs and have spots there. There was just too many bodies in the ring that did not allow that moment to breathe. Dare I say the Casino Royale and AEW for the ladies, I felt that was a lot better pace, even though
cool concept. I really like the concept.
Yeah, it's a really cool concept. And even though there's a lot of bodies laying on the outside for both the men and women for the Casino Royale, I love the idea because every woman in that match at All-In had that proper showcase. I got a sense of who they were. I got a sense of who they are. I got a sense of their valets, their managers. Even though it's so chaotic, there's no DQ, I felt like everyone got their proper shine. Here, what happens when the bell rings? Ding, ding, ding in the Battle Royale. Who does Nia Jax eliminate immediately?
Tatum
Paxley. right? Like, immediately, everyone's like, oh my God, I actually like her. This is really cool. I'm excited. She's done great. She's made a return in NXT and da-da-da. Boom. Nia Jax, she's your favorite? Yeah, not anymore. Out they go. That's what Nia Jax loves to do in every Rumble aspect. And immediately I groaned. I was like, this is going into bad territory. But before we move on to that Rumble, that Royale, and keeping that tag team, I love Sol Ruca. I love Raquel Rodriguez in that match. Raquel Rodriguez was great. That the Hana Bomb was nasty. Raquel Rodriguez, for those of you who don't know, Kevin Nash criticized her. I don't know if you heard about this, Santi. Kevin Nash.
Fair criticism. I was
fair criticism.
Polite, fair criticism.
Big Daddy Cool said she needs to learn how to work bigger. She needs to work bigger. And then what does she do to respond to that? She said, I hear you. I understand. Thank you so much for that criticism. She took it to heart. And for some reason, these last, I would say, since Rhea and Raquel in that one match, I feel like every time she's made an appearance, she has worked bigger. And she feels more dominating. And it's a difference in the little details where she sells, but she doesn't oversell. She gets knocked back, but she doesn't fly and fall down type of thing. And everything that she does has a little bit more aggressiveness, and she's a little bit more angry. That aside, I do feel that when it comes to the Battle Royale that we talked about, the next opportunity after, and talking about Lash Legend, going into your original question, I did not get that sense of put her into the main roster because she's ready to go. Mm-hmm. There's nothing unique too much about Lash Legend. She would feel like another big wrestler, like tall wrestler. Whereas like another Raquel. But Sol Ruca, on the other hand, gives me the Lita, gives me the Jeff Hardy, gives me all that Javon Evans, just gives me that style that we don't have as well, like a Dominic Mysterio rocking the Vans in the ring, like that kind of stuff. I would gravitate to if I was a new wrestling fan, like man or woman, I would go like, this wrestler's awesome. There's something different about it. And that's why I think that's the difference between Lash Legend and Sol Ruca is there's that it factor for Sol Ruca right now that Lash Legend hasn't found. And I thought Lash Legend would have some burn on the main roster after her Rumble's appearance were so great. But I feel like that they're still waiting on that. That one feels like a little bit more developmental on that one.
What I'm getting out of this conversation is that this is a great problem to have for the WWE.
Absolutely.
It's just a great problem to have. Like, when do we call up our arsenal of talent that we have developing in NXT? And this will always be one of the reasons why WWE will just last forever, because they don't have to go out into free agency and pay top dollar for top dollar. You know how to. They don't have to go out there and pay top dollar for big free agents, because they're developing their own, and we're seeing it with the likes of Sol Ruca. I see nothing but a mega bright future for Sol. The other show from WWE this weekend was Saturday night's main event. We talked a little bit already about the injury. I don't really think there's much to talk about that we already haven't hit on with regards to the jelly roll thing and that match that happened. I don't think we need to talk about Jimmy and Solo. I think we can just focus here on Goldberg and Gunther. Goldberg putting on a 14-minute match, ladies and gentlemen. I lost my bet. I said
you begged. You called me and begged. Can we make it 8 minutes? Can we make it?
You should have taken it. You should have taken it.
I should have doubled it or nothing.
You should have taken it. Yeah, you should have taken it.
You would have gone 20.
No, I wouldn't have had the balls to go 20 minutes on a Goldberg match.
No, I would have said 20 gifted for that 8 minutes.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant 8 minutes. Sorry, 20 minutes.
No.
20 minutes.
No. I would have said, hey, if you want me to extend it to 8 minutes, 20 gifted.
I might have took it. I might have took it.
You would have.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, I lost $50 to Sancho. I said it was going to be under 6 minutes, and it ended up being Goldberg's third longest match of his career. 14
I don't think it was
minutes.
the biggest pivot. I don't think it was a pivot. I know people say because of Seth Rollins' injury, but I don't think so. You don't plan a barricade spot on the whim. There's no way.
Sure. Okay. I don't think it was a pivot either, but I think the Seth Rollins thing did something weird. Something weird with this match, because after the match ends, they go to commercial break with 3 minutes left on the show. And then they come back with 30 seconds left on the show for Goldberg to have his moment under the sun, to get his cheers, to get his flowers, to thank people. And they cut him off mid interview. It's ridiculous. I don't know why in the world that commercial played. That commercial doesn't play. Goldberg actually has his time. I get that these are commercials that are already purchased, but who that I've watched TV in my lifetime, Sancho, and I don't recall an episode of Law & Order SVU having a commercial break 3 minutes before I find out if Elliot Stabler are able to get their bad guy.
Well. Santi, you may have watched TV, but your boy has worked on TV, okay?
I've worked on TV. I moved to Los Angeles. I'm an actor. I'm a stunt double.
That's right.
Go ahead. Tell us.
That's right. There is the set amount of ads. And here's the story that I have, my friend. When I was Twitch Rivals at TwitchCon, we were doing the Balloon World Cup, which is, you keep you uppy. For those of you know, you hit the balloons and you have to keep them up, and they have the kind of like a.
Didn't somebody break their leg in that?
Yes.
Yeah,
they rolled their ankle.
Wild.
Like nasty. She vaulted over the chair, and it was like a little chair, like a recliner, but it was low, and she kind of landed on her ankle and just like.
Hey, that for the love of the game. For the love of the game.
For the love of the game. And she did not want to move. And respectfully so, because it was a gnarly, like one of the worst things. And I'm there calling the action. And we're like, we're going to step away for a bit.
Have you ever seen it's when Dak snaps his ankle? And
my boy?
Your boy Dak Prescott snaps his ankle. I'm not laughing at the snapped ankle. I'm just laughing at this.
The Giants.
Yeah. It's Tony Romo's on commentary. He's just like, it looks like a sprained calf, and then it zooms in, and his ankle is like 180 degrees the wrong way. He's like, oh, that's not a sprained ankle. No, he says, that's not a strained calf.
I don't know, Jim. Yeah. So that happens, right? And she doesn't want to move, which is her choice. And their medical's there, and she's there for like an hour and a half because they're trying to get her out. And we went on break, and and then eventually we went on to like, we'll be right back type of screen. But because of that, all of the ads that we had were supposed to run, we had to push throughout the show, and we had to run them no matter what. We would have shorter segments. And I think that's what happened. They had to run that ad. They had no choice. It wasn't a matter of like, they weren't going to run an ad right before the ending anyway. They weren't going to run another ad. They had to. There's no question. And
I agree. I'm like, this is contractually obligated, but I doubt their initial intention when the show started was to run it 3 minutes before the show ended. I'm sure that as somebody paying for an ad spot, you don't want that spot, right?
No.
So I'm just curious, what in the show caused that pivot? Was it the Seth Rollins injury?
Definitely, because if you look at the way that show was being pushed out and the way most Saturday Night's Main Event, it is match usually like all matches in Monday night, the spot to the outside, going to commercial, right? And then throughout that entire night, it would have that initial commercial, and then later on they would have another commercial, and then the finish would happen.
Right.
So there was supposed to be that commercial that was supposed to happen after Seth Rollins and LA Knight's initial entrance and a little bit of the beginning. Commercial was supposed to happen. Seth Rollins goes down right when that commercial is supposed to happen. They had an option. They could easily gone to commercial and then come back into Seth Rollins comes out and then boom, BFT, and they move on. But that didn't happen. I think the finish happened right when the commercial was supposed to hit. And so they went with it. And that's why LA Knight get out of the ring. Like, he didn't really celebrate. And there was a lot of people saying, like, how come you celebrate? Because Jessica Carr, the referee, was like, get out of the ring, get out quickly. Because then they got to the commercial. So, all that happened. And because of that, they were one commercial behind. And now you have to figure out when you're going to put this commercial in. And they just poor happens.
Here's the thing, though, Sancho. I watched the international broadcast of it on YouTube.
We all did. Yep.
Why'd they cut it off on YouTube?
I agree. Peacock should have never had it.
Yeah, you could have kept it going. Yeah, you could have absolutely kept it going. You didn't have, an episode of Law and Order starting afterwards. You could have kept it going.
Could have been the news. Usually the network is strict on the news because when the news closed, the news has to play.
Well, that's why NXT has to end right at 10 because it's the CW network news or whatever that starts afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Regardless, it sucked. Bill Goldberg deserves a whole boots on the floor type of ending that Undertaker got, but this is not at a PLE. It's on network television. It's interesting when you rewatch it. I see Michael Cole, do the quick introduction. Michael, and you could see him tell Goldberg, like, you need to wrap this up immediately. Like, he's like, you got 30 seconds. And Bill that's the hardest thing to do as someone who works on, as hosting and casting, is when you have a minute, you got to nail it. And they're going to be hard out. And you might have experience on this. Yeah. I don't know if you do yet. Was when you work the front page of Twitch, you have 2-hour time slots. And I've, worked so many different sponsorships. And it's like, you need to say your goodbye. Good. And if not, you're going to get cut off. And this is an unfortunate thing. I don't think it's as big of a deal. I think where people are hung up on is someone who's as legacy, the pomp and circumstance. Goldberg deserved more than just say, thank you, everybody, goodbye. And I think they try to front load all that with all the vignettes, like his legacy and all this and like that. And we'll give Goldberg his due again when he enters the Hall of Fame as a WCW. No, again. You know how the Hall of no. Yeah, okay, as a WCW legend, or what do they have now? Those Hall of Fame matches. They're gonna.
Goldberg doesn't have one. What do you?
Starcade was.
Shout out to they put the cattle prod match where he got electrocuted.
That's my whole point. It's like, I know he's a Hall of Famer, but I think like they're gonna, if you're alive and you're a legend, they're gonna bring you back again for that pop. Like Bret Hart and Stone Cold, I absolutely should not have been at the Hall of Fame to solidify that match.
Yeah. By the way, the induction of that match should have just been like, we're inducting this match. And let's move on.
Let's just talk about
That's it.
And instead, didn't they have like a bust of both heads combined?
Yeah.
Am I just making that up in my mind?
No. They had the bust of both heads. Yeah.
Gross.
It was a little bit nightmare fuel.
You think they're gonna do one where it's John Cena, CM Punk, and Ryback for their triple threat? I'm telling you, brother, I'm discovering new things in Ryback in Review that I've never discovered before. He is the Forrest Gump of pro wrestling. Did you know he was there for the debut of the Shield? Yes. He
got powerbombed by the Shield. Yeah. He was the first one they attacked.
And did you know he was their first match as well with Team Hell No?
Yeah.
Yes, they were. The tables, letters, and chairs match at TLC 2012. So, brother, I'm like, what is this? Why is Ryback in Review have bangers here, brother? We got bangers and matches all over the place, dude. So it's been blowing my mind that I've been discovering these new things, because it's like I think we did that match, the triple threat with Cena.
We did
Punk and Ryback, and you're like, but it's when you're in that mindset of just focusing on Ryback, and all of a sudden the Shield come in. You're like, wait a minute. By the way, though, that TLC match was a pretty banger. There was a spot that Seth Rollins takes. You're like, oh my God.
That's the architect, brother. That was the architect times.
You should be dead. And it's hilarious that there was a spear that Ryback delivered to Jon Moxley. Like, damn. And then you got Daniel Bryan running around. Woo.
With the height of the Yes movement. Well, not the height of it, but like it was getting there. It was Team Hell No at the time. That's right. That's right. There's an example of a team of two opposites that came together that didn't break up. There we go. We had one. They eventually like separated, but like it wasn't like a heel turn. I hate you now, Kane, or I hate you now, Daniel Bryan. There we go. It took 2 hours into the podcast, but we answered the question. Team Hell No. Sancho, I want you for like 2 minutes to give kind of like your thoughts on All in Texas, and then I'll come back. I have to go to the door really, really quick.
Okay. Well, what can I say? Recently, this is where many of you may leave, but I want to hear me out, basically. When it comes to AEW All-In, it's a long PLE. I bought it on Prime Video, which was really cool because then I had the ability to rewatch it over and over again. $50 after the fact, after the PLE happened. I did not watch it live. I was watching my son. And I'll talk to Santi about this, but the most hilarious thing about AEW All-In was that because I was hanging out with my son because my wife's out of town and my daughter's out of town too. And I was watching it at actually Dave & Buster's for a little bit. I took my son to Dave & Buster's, which for those of you who don't know, is like a arcade place where you can have pizza and things of that sort and food. And I look up and I see Jon Moxley getting stabbed in the face with a fork. I'm like, good Lord, everybody must be upset basically what's happened. It wasn't that moment. It was more I was watching Will Ospreay in that match. But then when I got to home and I heard that Jon Moxley's getting stabbed with a fork, I was like, imagine the people at Dave & Buster's sitting there with their kids at birthday parties and Moxley just bleeding all over the place. I would bring up the joke again. Oh, Santi's back. Sorry, anyway, brother. I was telling them about the idea that I went to Dave & Buster's and I was seeing All In on the TV screens.
Oh yeah,
and the idea of Moxley just getting hung and bled out to death in front of like literally, dude. It's
the fork spot.
Yeah. It was literally like on like 6 big TV screens. It's like you couldn't hide it. You know what I mean? And I thought like that's a pretty cool venue because I remember we were discussing that the price is so high that the idea of going to Dave & Buster's, which is an arcade place, you could actually enjoy it. But I piecemealed it. I watched it at home after Evolution and all that. I watched it throughout the weekend. I did not watch it in one sitting. I did feel like it was a multiple PLEs all in one. I did like the venue, and I do like the pomp and circumstance of the big stage, the pyro, the entrances felt special. Aside from the Young Bucks that took way too long to get to the ring. But there were so many like cool moments that you could take away and appreciate this, that he's still high quality wrestling. And Santi, the one thing I wanted to kind of discuss today as well as part of this review for All In was I know why people don't like AEW style wrestling. I get it. But the framework that I presented it to myself is like, it reminds me of a fighting game. And in fighting games, you could do your ultra move, you could do your big like X-ray move, and the person could still be alive, right? And that person could hit you with an X factor and regain their health. They could have multiple health bars. They could still fight. And it's like round 1, round 2, and you could hit your finishers left, right, and center. And that's what an all-in match felt like to me. Like, yes, he hit the Rainmaker, but it wasn't like the strongest Rainmaker. Yes, he hit the One-Ring Angel and things of that sort. Like, when all those things add up and you're expecting a 1, 2, 3 and there's a false finish. Did Toni Storm hit 3 of her whatever they call it? What do they call it? The Storm effect or Storm Zero? She hit 3 Storm Zeros back to back on Mercedes Moné. You think that's it? No, Mercedes Moné kicks out. If you just framework it as if you're watching a Marvel versus Capcom 2 type of vibe or Guilty Gear X, you will enjoy it. You would enjoy it a lot more than you would a WWE. Because in WWE, you ever play that game called Tenchu or things like that where they actually have real swords and you just go and you slice off a hand, things like that? That's what WWE is. Your finisher is meant to be a finisher. And dare I say that at times when the WWE has false finishes, the excitement kicks up like a whole new level, right? Look at Seth Rollins and CM Punk and things of that sort. But when you look at it that way, where AEW is like more of a fighting game and these characters are superheroes in real life and they're doing these crazy things, you could then get into that another layer where's the story and the drama exist Because I think that's that barrier that people stop. It's like, oh, they're not selling. They're not selling this Canadian Destroyer. They do sell it, but they sell it like a move later. Because it's like boom, boom. I get a little adrenaline, boom, I hit and then I collapse. Like,
it was the adrenaline.
A lot of that. Right.
In my soul.
The Bushido is there. Like that one moment when during, if you want to go through the whole card, but that one moment in the Young Bucks, which I love Young Buck matches. One of my favorite tag team matches on Match Club with Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers in that cage match. You have that moment where it's like all four of them are just popping off and they're just hitting each other with everything. And then it's like, and then the crescendo happens and then it dies back down. Like there's so many of those moments throughout AEW, but there's some great talent over there, man. And there's some moments where I'm saying like, ooh, I want to see them wrestle a WWE superstar or WWE superstar wrestle this person. There's so many dream matches out there. But what did you think about AEW All-In before we dive in match to match a little bit?
I got a pretty unique perspective on it this weekend because of the counter programming. I was bouncing between the matches. I was bouncing between Great American Bash and All In. The show ran so long that I was even bouncing between Saturday night's main event and All In because it ended at, I think like 9 p.m. Eastern is when All In ended. And the proper show started at 3 and the 0 hour started at 2. I really liked the experience of bouncing between the two because I was able to pick and choose, I'm liking this more. I'm going to stick here. Like when I know it was cool. Okay, like Dustin Rhodes won, but I think at the same time it was like Ethan Page versus Ricky Saints. I'm like, I'm going to stick with this. This is way better. So I kind of like the idea of I like what I'm seeing here more, so I'm going to stay here. And then when like Jimmy versus Solo was on, I'm like, oh, obviously I'm going to watch the death match. This is so much better. So I got to bounce back and forth between the show, but it also allowed me to see like a lot of like fundamental differences between the WWE style and the AEW style. They're so different. Like they're almost like not comparable. If you ask me, the excitement that I get out of AEW is not I get excitement out of WWE, but I get it in different ways. I get the excitement out of AEW is for me when they no sell the moves. I'm like, oh shit, that's insane. If that were to happen in WWE, I'm like, that doesn't make sense here. I don't like that on WWE, they no-sold 3 Storm Zeros. That doesn't make sense. But somehow in AEW, it makes sense for me. And it gets me excited when they no-sell these moves and they kick out of the crazy stuff. Because I'm expecting that type of product there. And I'm expecting a WWE product on WWE TV. If WWE were all of a sudden to try and do some of the stuff that they do in AEW, I wouldn't like it. So it's just interesting seeing the dichotomy between the two shows as I'm watching the two shows at the same time. Is that hypocrisy? I don't know. Is that just me recognizing that they are two very different brands of professional wrestling? Maybe.
Well, when WWE dips their toe in AEW, that Canadian Destroyer, that buckle bomb into the Mexican Destroyer from Seth Rollins and Penta was nasty. That was very AEW light. We were like, ooh, he no-sold the buckle bomb into the Mexican Destroyer, and then he like laid out, right? Because it took a little bit.
That I can buy. You know, like because for example, like it's like you said, the adrenaline. Like for example, when the Young Bucks hit the double Canadian Destroyer, and then it was no-sold into the hidden blade,
into the
hidden blade, and then I forgot the name of Swerve's finisher, the like kick to the side of the face,
the Kinshasa type of vibe.
I was like, cool. Then they both pass out. It's cool. It's cool. I like it. But like the triple Storm Zero, I'm like, I have to be into the AEW style to buy this because kicking out of that is crazy.
And it was like John Cena like levels of still holding on to her. Right? That was really cool. Yeah. It was still holding. I guess we if you want to go quickly down to the card, because I have my thoughts about the death match. What was the opening match for me? Because I did not watch 0 Hour. I did not watch. I
didn't watch 0 Hour. I don't.
It wasn't part of the PLE package, the pay-per-view. I paid it on Prime Video for $50, and it started off with, I'm trying to remember that first opening match, which was pretty solid.
0 Hour is just on YouTube, but they started with the Ops versus the Death Riders. I actually missed a huge chunk of this match because I was watching the opening match over in NXT. It was still Ruka and Izzy Dame. Then I went back and rewatched. So it was solid. Nothing that was like super memorable. They like destroy Samoa Joe afterwards though, which was pretty cool. Then it was MJF winning the Casino Gauntlet, which I thought was really good. That I did watch. The Dustin Rhodes Fatal 4-Way winning that. I didn't think the match was that good, but the result is really emotional, obviously, with Dustin Rhodes winning. Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks is unbelievably good. Like, oh my, that match was crazy. That is quintessential AEW style. Like,
yes,
if you're an AEW fan, you will love that match. Women's Gauntlet with Athena winning was cool. Sure.
Just so to go back to it, there was a lot of like, that's what I meant. Like, if you watch that match, that tag team match, there is story there. You know, the whole idea that Ospreay and Swerve were rivals throughout the entire time to try to figure out who's the best man to take out Jon Moxley alongside with Adam Page, right? Against the Death Riders. And at the same time, when Swerve stood in front of Will Ospreay, that was cool, right? Where he was just like, they were super kicking, parting Will to death on the ropes, and then Swerve stood in front of him, right? Like, you want to be like, there's a lot of those like action movie type of moments, like, come on, man, I'm right here, and super kick me, and then he gets super kicked, and then that's when the hidden blade comes out of nowhere. I really did enjoy that. I know we kind of skirted over it, but Adam Cole, bummer, man, a huge bummer for Adam Cole. And don't get me wrong, I know there's a lot of people that criticize AEW because there's a lot of spots that are like, oof, iffy, right? There's a lot of dangerous spots that happen all the time. Like, normal moves look so dangerous, like Moxley dropping the double hook DDT Adam Page on a chair. I was like, that I don't know how he did not land it on his head. But when Adam Cole came out and delivered that speech that his time may be done, it was kind of a bummer, man, because what a bad luck situation that Adam Cole run into. He was heading into some of the best stuff that he's working with MJF, does a freak ankle injury. He's out for months and months and months because it was a brutal one that shattered his entire ankle. And then, you know, he takes we don't know exactly what he's dealing with because he just said that it's a very serious injury and then he'd be gone for a while. It's a bummer, man, because he's a good dude, just an overall good dude. I've said this in the past. I've worked with him. Anytime I worked with celebrity, when it comes down to a job or sponsorship or a segment, they're like half in, checked out, right? They're like, all right, what do I got to do? Let me get through it. But he was genuinely excited to work with me. He was genuinely excited to do the segment that we were in, the show that we were in. And he helped me recruit AEW to get involved. And he liked the angle that we worked with. It was AEW versus our hosting team. And it was really rad, man, to work with the Chugs, to work with that guy. And I'm hoping he's not the end because I do enjoy his work and in and out of the ring. But it's good to know that he does have Twitch to fall back on. It's a weird thing to say. He could fall back on Twitch and the people will be there, but sucks, dude. I'm hoping that he stays involved in wrestling, though, as a producer, because he's a great mind. He's a great mind. He's been involved in some of the best black and gold matches of all time.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen, like, as soon as he went out there and I didn't see a sling or a boot, I'm like, oof, oh no.
That's a neck.
Yeah, it's a neck or a brain, right? Usually is what comes to mind. So I hope this isn't retirement. He didn't say retirement, but he also didn't say not retirement. You know what I mean? So I'm sure he's going to have to do a bunch of evaluations and tests. And
he wasn't like The Rock, or The Rock was like, Daddy has to go away for a little while, go film a movie. But yes, what's the next match after? Again, I'm a big fan. I like the Young Bucks. I do. And you should watch more Young Buck matches so that you could get used to their style, so that you could get to it's like the pit of that fruit when it comes to a good Young Bucks match.
We had Athena winning the Casino Gauntlet, which, like, what the correct choice far and away. Athena being the most dominant Ring of Honor champion, maybe the most dominant champion in wrestling at the moment. With like she's closing in on like 1,000 days as Ring of Honor champion. So I think it's cool that now they're going to take this dominant champion from their lower brand and maybe push her towards a women's world championship. I love it.
Did you pop for our match club darling Suri?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I was like, I know her.
Yeah, that's like really cool because, for those of you know, on Match Club, we watched so many of her matches that we started to take a shine to her and get really excited. And I never really watched the promotion that she's in, but when she popped out for the Casino Royale, I was like, oh my!
Yeah, there she is. There she is.
She's awesome. What do you think of Megan Bain? Like, you ever got a real sense of her yet? Like Megan Bain?
Oh yeah, dude. I'm fully caught up on the Megan Bain love. I think she's amazing. I kind of was hoping for a better showing from her here, but I still think they went with the right choice. I think Athena is the play.
I thought
here.
it was crazy to put her in at the second spot because that's a hard. Usually, if you're 1 and 2 in a Royal Rumble or one of those situations, you got to work. You got to be able to work.
It's just that in the kayfabe of the Casino Gauntlet, you want to be 1 or 2.
So you could pin right away.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the logic. But then it gets harder as more people come out. But you want to be one of the early ones. We had the tag match. Hurt Syndicate retains, whatever. But like the big thing here was the return of Adam Copeland, or just Cope, to save Christian. But first he had to hit his poses. First he had to summon his pyro, and then he went out there to save Christian Cage and hit him with the "Go Find Yourself." And I think it's very clear that they're going to be winning the tag titles at All Out in Toronto because it's in September.
His big old toothbrush that he walked in the ring with.
It didn't look like he was there to combat cavities, bro. I'm here to take out tartar.
Day, you brush daily. Free yourself from cavity.
Dude, it did look like a giant toothbrush. Then it was the triple main event: Tony Storm and Mercedes Moné.
I'm sorry, dude. Adam Copeland forever be like that scene in Seinfeld where they talk about the girls, the nudists, and then when you see them like cough or something, that's it. The lure is off. When I saw him fall in that pyro, the lure is off for me on Adam Copeland.
Timeless Tony Storm, Mercedes Moné, solid match all around. But I would, if I'm comparing to what happened with the women of WWE this weekend, I would say maybe the third best match of the weekend. I think women's triple threat and Io versus Rio were better.
I did like the amount of submission holds in that match, though. There's a lot of submission wrestling in there. Yeah. You could send them rest holds, but what I like about the Mercedes Moné or Sasha Banks matches is when she gets her what do they call it over there? The statement? They call it something different over there. It's like the bank statement here anyway. And it's like locked in. I really do enjoy those moments. What I felt from this moment that I was watching here that was different from WWE is that Timeless Tony Storm is that person.
Oh, she's so good.
Is right. She has that, like everything that she does so meticulously planned and her presentation so on point that I felt like I was watching like an icon versus Mercedes Moné. For me, that character at AEW is not iconic, but Timeless Tony Storm is iconic. Rhea Ripley is iconic. Sasha Banks, I think, is iconic too in the WWE sense of the universe, but Tony Storm and Rhea Ripley transcend their promotions. Like if you put Rhea Ripley in any promotion, she'd be the it thing. You put Timeless Tony Storm, I'm confident that she'd be the it person too, wherever she goes.
Timeless Tony Storm retains and ends the reign of terror. The undefeated Mercedes
the belt
Moné.
Collector.
She didn't lose any belts. She didn't lose any belts.
That was a sick entrance there with the
cheerleaders.
Yeah, they had the belts on them too.
That's
and
cool.
Then she came out with the names of all the people she's beaten on the. See, I like All In because it felt more Mania like when it comes to entrances. I feel like that was lacking in Mania recently. And only one person could have pyro in WWE. Here, everybody had pyro, brother.
Yeah, everybody felt special. Even like the entrances of the Casino Gauntlet, right?
Yeah,
like everyone kind of got their moment. Then there was Okada versus Kenny Omega. It was good, but like I told people, this isn't going to be anywhere near as good as their insanely amazing matches of the 2010s. This could have been better had they removed bum-ass Don Callis from this. He is insufferable in all of the worst ways. Not in the like, oh, what a heel. He is just annoying. He is a detriment to any match and any story he is involved with. I tune out whenever Don Callis is there. And I hate that it's so often involved with Kenny Omega because I want to lose myself in a Kenny Omega match, but then Don Callis drags me out and reminds me that this could be better if he weren't there. I can't stand Don Callis.
You remind me
of what I really am.
But look, you do not start with this Kenny Omega Okada match. You just don't.
It's still a very good match, just to clarify.
it's like a Rocky 5, Rocky 6 type of situation. I mean, they're up there. They don't move as crisp as they used to. They don't hit as hard as they used to. They don't recover quickly from their hijinks. But it's so cool though when you watch the match. All of a sudden, like they pace themselves. They get to a point where they're pacing themselves, and it's like a haymaker fest. And then it just ratchets up out of nowhere. Like all of a sudden, they find a new gear and they hit the finish, and it was really solid. Yeah, Don Callis got involved at the wrong time, and there was a little bit of shenanigans here, but it was cool to see like two familiar foes duke it out. And this is interesting here in AEW All-In. It's a triple main event, so this is the second on the main event, and this is what I was talking about. How it felt like two PLEs or two pay-per-views, because you easily could have done the WWE thing and had a 5-match PLE, and this being part of that 3 out of the 5, and you'd be like, best PLE ever, because it's equally paced. It's not a marathon of a sprint of a 5+ hour show. Because the main event, you would make that Young Bucks versus Will and Sir Strickland the main event of that PLE. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Like
I hear you. Yeah.
I liked it. As a big Kenny fan, I just know that he's been Randy Ortonized. He's going to sell that diverticulitis for the rest of his life, dude. That drop colon right there, a little bit of intestines will always be the thing that people are going to shoot for the rest of their life, of this career. He's going to have to sell it.
It's interesting that they never had Lesnar sell diverticulitis, because Lesnar had it too, and they
because Lesnar destroyed diverticulitis.
Diverticulitis was afraid of Lesnar.
Yes, he just got rid of that quickly, brother.
Lesnar went into his own intestines and ate it.
Yes.
He ate his own intestines.
Diverticulitis is going to sell Brock Lesnar for the rest of their lives. You know what I mean?
That's funny.
Could someone draw a picture of Brock Lesnar holding up intestines or the drop colon, and then him like, bam, all of a sudden, diverticulitis out of nowhere?
Then the main event, we've already talked a little bit about it, the Texas death match, and it was exactly what it needed to be, man. It was Bloodline rules, but it was AEW rules, man. Everyone and anyone. I think I was right. I think it ended up being double digits in terms of the people that were out there that got involved. There were, my favorite part, of course, was Prince Nana handcuffing Marina Shafir, and then hitting his Fortnite emo was so good. But was this over the top violent? Yes. Did the story warrant it? Yes. That's why it works. That's why when people are like, AEW is just gratuitous violence. No, it isn't. It's that gratuitous violence is violence that is just there for the sake of being there.
It's Necro the Butcher. Okay?
Necro the Butcher versus Samoa Joe. That is gratuitous violence. That Sami Callihan and Penta match. That is gratuitous violence. This is violent. And it is very violent, but every ounce of violence, every drop of blood, every crazy spot was earned in the storyline that was being told here. So I don't see it as this like over-the-top violence. I see it as very violent. And it was like, would you say the violence in a Halloween Michael Myers movie is gratuitous? No, it's you. But if you were to see that same level of violence in Moana, if Maui went out there and started chopping people in half, you'd be like, hey, what is, wait. I'm sorry I brought my kid to this, it wouldn't make sense. But it's a Texas death match where the story warrants it.
I see what's happening.
What can I say except you're dead?
I always like those things where they take like a horror movie trailer, like they make a regular trailer into a horror movie, like they add like you ever seen the Dumb and Dumber one where he's like a stalker?
They just add the timing of that trailer is so good. They make it seem like he's a Jeffrey Dahmer like.
Yeah. Or the Miss Doubtfire one. That's always a good one. Like he's all of a sudden stalking his own kids. Regardless, this is what you have to have an acquired taste to enjoy a death match.
Yeah.
It's a tough to watch. I think where my criticism of the match was the escalation of weapons was there. I could see it. It's literally started with a fork, went to barbed wire, then it escalated to a bed of nails. Like, how do we get here type of thing? I think the only part that was gratuitous was the bed of nails spot. Like that's where we got like, ooh, we jumped the shark for me there. I could buy everything that I can even buy Hangman Page using chain rope to the hang. Yes, you heard me right. Hung Hang, whatever you want to say, Yeet, Yah, his opponent to get the win. The fact that a tap out happened in a 10 count, right? It was supposed to be a 10 count or a submission hold. There's so many things that you could pick apart about this, like Darby Allin coming in from Mount Everest. I think that's what they were trying to say, right? Because they showed the promo that he cut. He's like, John Moxley, I want to make sure I'm going to come after you. And then he comes from the Titantron up there, the little screens, and he rappels down as if he came from Mount Everest. In the world of kayfabe, I think that's what they were going for. And Bryan Danielson comes out. Like there's so many things that just added to it, but you could criticize WrestleMania 41 for being the same thing, right? All the run-ins, all the interferences. The only thing that's missing is the crazy spots. Is like there was no Cody Rhodes dropping Roman on a bed of nails, but it's because it didn't make sense for that story for Cody. Cody's story did not need a hang spot. It just needed triple crossroads. That's what it needed.
That's all it needed, huh? How do you? I don't know if it's even fair to compare this to WrestleMania 40, but like
40. That's right.
Yeah. But I'll say this, if a regular match had as much interference as WrestleMania 40, you criticize it, but all of the interferences, all of those crazy moments in WrestleMania 40 were earned, like the violence here in this death match, if you ask me.
Was it 9 months that Moxley was champion? Something crazy like that?
8 months or something, I believe.
Yeah, because if you were keeping up with AEW, you would know that all of those characters were all opponents of the Death Riders at some point.
At some point, yeah. I thought it was cool that, I don't know if you noticed, when Hangman grabbed the title out of the briefcase, it still had Bryan Danielson's side plates. Because, because Moxley hid the belt for all those months, and they never put any Moxley side plates on it.
It's a nice looking belt, dude.
I love the AEW World Belt. It's so nice. It's. I think it looks like a world title, right? It looks like a big prize, not like the big ass W.
Yeah, dude. Actually, wrestling is cool. Would make a sick belt. What do you think?
WIC belt.
Well, I wouldn't. I don't know. I like our logo so much that it should have the wrestling is cool logo. What do you think?
Wait, I'm down to make a belt. Can we get a and then we put it on the line on a Mario Kart Grand Prix or a Mario Kart World Tour match.
You're gonna lose.
I don't think I am. I don't think that I am. I've actually been playing that game. Have you been playing it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Have you won any knockout tours?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure to see what I'm getting into bed with, or as you would say, rolling around in the hay, a tumble in the hay.
We are the Zesty Pin Brothers.
We are. What are these guys, dude? We would be Mose and Dwight. Bring it home.
We could bring it home, my little pumpkin. My little sweet pumpkin. Oh,
we're over time, man. We're already over time.
Did we talk about everything that we need to talk about? I love when I do timestamp. I just like peter out and stop because it's not easy doing timestamps, y'all.
I don't know that we hit everything, but we're 2 hours in, so new heat order time.
Did we heat everything? Here,
yeah, we did. We did.
Did we talk about Nikki Bella's return? No.
I'm good to not talk about it.
We didn't talk about Nikki Bella winning.
Cool.
After 7 years gone, returning,
beating
Chelsea Green,
and
then teaming up with Stephanie Becker.
New heat order.
Oh, I'm sorry. We got to your 2-minute
new heat order.
Little spoiled time here. You're like a little time stop of little stop motion animation of a Ron Banana. All of a sudden now you're all green and mossy.
New heat order.
You know how it's like sitting here and it's like
you're gonna start doing the Braun Breaker, just tweaking.
When LA Knight does stuff, it's so funny. But he's now a clown, dude. He's regulated to just being the clown that comes out.
He's there to entertain you until Roman and company come back.
Until Daddy comes home, dude. He's Uncle LA Knight. All right. Folks, New Heat Order is talking about the buzz and all the happenings and all the fun that's been exciting us throughout the entire week now. Typically, it's all WWE, and I think we're going to stick to that. So if you're an all-in AEW type of person, I'm sorry. Sub and subscribe to Patreon.
Yes.
Yes. Nino He Order is all about who we're excited to see next week. And this was a very jam-packed week. We have so many options to be number one.
Is it Seth?
No.
The talking conversation, I don't know that there's more conversation about Seth.
That everybody's been talking about Seth. They talk a lot about Seth's injury, more so than any other injury I can think of. Like Liv Morgan still talked about a lot, but now she's become a storyline beat of like for Liv, things of that sort. But no one, I feel like the last injury that was talked about this much was Rhea Ripley.
It's because it's so close to SummerSlam and the amount of feuds that he had and the expectation that it was going to be him and Roman. So I would, under 99.9% of circumstances, I would say Naomi is number one. But if this is the buzz, the conversation, it's Seth Rollins, I think, number one, even above Roman returning.
Naomi number two.
I would have Naomi number two and Roman three.
I like that. Phil, you're not on my level, Phil. Goldberg or Gunther or CM Punk here?
Can I say neither and put back-to-back Io and Rhea after their match? Because holy smokes, man. Holy smokes. The universal praise online.
Did you like their party bus celebration? That was fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
That felt like an after credit scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A little Easter egg. Yeah. You know, at the end of the video game, you see all like the main character celebrate.
Yeah. Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Everyone around the fire after Ganon gets killed.
Roasting the skull. Number 5.
I think here, like CM Punk, yeah. I think we got to have Braun Breaker on this after that gauntlet, too.
He ran it. He didn't win it, though. That doesn't count.
Sure.
Close only count. The close doesn't count, dude.
I know, but I think that was such a breakout for him. The match and then the promo that Paul Heyman cut on his behalf.
Didn't win.
Okay.
Sorry.
You know who's not on it? LA Knight.
It's fine.
Just like
LA Knight should be on it because he won a Saturday main event, but the WWE doesn't think so.
Yeah, the WWE may as well be telling us that he didn't win.
An LA Knight fire. Don't get out.
Okay.
Jelly roll?
We're not putting Jelly Roll on here, brother.
We spent a lot of time talking about him.
Oh, we did. Yeah, there's a lot of conversation about, whatever, man. Just throw Jelly Roll in here. Just put number 1.
You died on the inside?
I'm dead.
I want everybody who's paying at the $15 level of Patreon, put Jelly Roll in your name.
No, don't.
Santi has to read it.
People will.
Yes, do it. If I'm not on the thumbnail, I'm going to hijack the part that you have to read, that you're contractually obligated to read all the $15 pages, because I know you, Santi, and deep down in your soul, in your heart, you are there for the paying customer, and the paying customer gives you $15 to say the name, you are going to say it.
I always do.
You always do. The customer does not pay us for me to be on the thumbnail. They don't.
Sure. They don't. That's not what that's not what the Patreon dollars are for.
So, Jelly Roll in your names, please. Number 5. No Mr. Iguana, dude. Where the hell is Mr. Iguana, dude?
Dude, Layeska got murdered. Did you see that?
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah, dude. After this, go find Santino hitting Layeska with the Cobra.
Oh,
it is hilarious. One, because they're trying to give it CPR, and 2, children are crying. Like, you could hear despair from children in that arena that Layeska got murdered in front of their eyes.
Did you see that Alberto Del Rio, Mr. Patron, he got shoved off the barricade and then he ripped off the shirt of the guy that shoved him off?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, my God. Wrestling is wrestling, brother. Number 5.
Did we have Goldberg here?
Goldberg. Oh, yeah. We'll give Goldberg his dues.
Yeah, give him his dues.
Yeah.
Then CM Punk, I would say.
Okay. Look, I like that ring jacket he had. That was a sick ring jacket. I bought. I will have you. You know, I did buy John Cena's farewell tour, San Antonio colors. Don't do it. Oh.
I got my Ron Cena shirt.
You have 2 wrestling stuff on. Ridiculous. Yeah. Gunther at 7?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Number 8, 9, and 10. Have you been enjoying the New Day's morning?
Yeah, I have.
Segments?
I have.
Yeah.
Then they give him real human hair wigs.
And he said, "I'm wigging out."
What about AJ or Dom? Not ready for that. Okay.
What about Raquel and Roxy?
I think people are talking more about Charlotte and Alexa than they are about those two.
Okay, so how about Charlotte at 9 and Alexa at 9?
Sure. Okay. Yeah, we can give them the same spot. It's cheating, but
we did it for Rhea and Io.
Yeah.
This is our new heat order.
We make the rules.
We make any love for Jey Uso?
No.
Come on, Paul Heyman. I'm down to put Braun Breaker here somewhere, 8 or 10.
Yeah, put Braun Breaker.
Okay, at 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so that leaves us with 8. Any love for? I'm trying to think. We have Naomi at 2.
Becky Lynch,
Solo, Becky.
I'd be down for Becky. Dude, what a smooth criminal pin that was. That was so nice. Woo, that was sexy. Yeah, put it up there. It
was a crucifix into a backslide. And I just like that because it came out of nowhere. It looked locked in. You know, It was like, there's no way you could kick out of that. And I love her leaning into the Becky Hogan thing.
We said that. Like, that'd be cool if she did, but we didn't think that she would.
I dare her to come out to "I'm a Real American."
Oh,
holy dude,
that'd be crazy.
The internet would freak out.
Oh, that'd be so good.
It works well because she is the man.
Sure.
And Hogan is the man.
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside.
Dude, that would be an interesting way to not erase Hogan, but to like color over Hogan theme by making it Becky Lynch's theme for a little while. If you hurt my friends and you hurt my pride, I'm a real. And then she could come out as the Patriot one day. No love for Grande Americano. Dude, where's Littlewood Kaiser anyway?
Who knows, man?
Crazy. Who knows? I can't believe they're not using him. It's kind of crazy. I'm hoping he's still signed with the company. Here's your list. Number 10, Braun Breaker. Number 9, Alexa and Charlotte. Number 8, Becky Lynch. Number 7, Gunther. Number 6, CM Punk. Number 5, Goldberg. Number 4, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Number 3, Roman Reigns. 2, Naomi. And 1, Seth Rollins. Do you think they told Logan, like, hey, we'll allow you that we may, buy your podcast if you wrestle Jelly Roll at SummerSlam? There has to be something contract,
I mean, it was in Jelly Roll's contract. If you buy the Impulsive contract, I get a match with Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, and Logan Paul.
If he didn't have the choke slam, what would be the best move for Jelly Roll to have? I'm thinking a Vader Bomb would be sick. Vader Bomb would be awesome.
I literally think it's only the choke slam that he's going to be able to do.
Tozawa Senton would be cool. Okay. You know what I mean? The Brutus Bomb would be cool.
Sure.
If you could imagine Randy had him in the Doomsday. You know what? They could do a Doomsday device.
Who's holding who? Would it be Jelly going off the top rope?
Yeah, Randy hold him up, and I think you would do that. Or you could do an RKO from Doomsday Device with Jelly holding up Logan.
Folks, thank you.
If that happened, if I called that, that's insane.
That'd be hilarious. Right? That would be hilarious. I still want a shooting star press, bro. That's what I want. Folks,
you're playing like 2K. You're putting up the sliders so you could do like an aerial move. No.
Let me bring it home. We're done. It's over. Our contractual 2 hours are done, Sancho. It's over. Folks, thank you so much for watching this episode.
Want to go again?
A little more jelly. Thank you very much for watching this episode of the Wrestling is Cool podcast. Of course, this is the coolest podcast on the planet, but we also have the coolest producers on the planet. Big shout out goes out to our $15 patrons who are the producers of our show. So an extra special thank you goes out to Dom, is his own Hall of Fame category, hashtag the GOAT. Number 1, Santi Glazer, Jacob Kufis, Ace1151, Aiden, Ibrahim Zuda, Alex Regal, Alex, Alfie the Chosen One, American Nightmare, Cody Lander, Antonio Arjona, Antony Arbach, Ariel Pacheco, Arrogance, Ashley, Asperlitz, Ozzy Kingslayer, Austin Hogland, Ayo Carr, Bailey Saunders, Beans, Bell Pluto, BG13, B Hostile, Bing Bong Wepa, Blasio, Blue Cord, Bluefish, Bobby, Braden Primo, Bradley, Brady Keaton, Brandon Richards, Brian Flores, Caleb Parker, Cameron Waring, Cameron Talks WWE, Carlos Gonzalez, CB, Cody, Cena Cody, Double Turn on Mania, Chim Charts Collectibles, Chris Butner, Lucas, Chris Estes, Christian GQ, Chucky Gonzalez, Clay, Colby Mayo, Colin Roach, Cookies for Sale, Cool Whip Tim, Corey King, Dalton Dunbar, David Nelson, definitely not Triple H burner account, Dennis Jamie, Derek Barnhart, Devin Geards, Digi, D. Lopez, Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome, Dumsky, Dylan Ariola, Sean, Edger Nation, El Grande, Germanicano, El Jono Americina, okay, El Joshi, Elvis De Presley, Eric Crosby, Eric Ruiz Romero, Aaron Thorne, Isach Must Pose, with Fishing with Papa J, Fletcher Walpole, FMFCMA, Freezer, Fugnux, Gamerscape, Garrett Woods, Gavin Martin, Giovanni Gonzalez, Gilbert Deans, Goatman of Cheese, Gunatonga, Goose Lesnar, GXA Man, Hartfeld, Heath Robertson, Henry Ramon, Hay Shakes, Hogan Soar is a prehistoric Hulkamaniac, Hoodie Cam, I'm Rick James Bitch, Ian McNugget, if Oldberg wins the world title, I shave my head, I'm Braun Strowman. Issa David says, I am Superman without the powers. It's Mista, Astro Kid, Ivan Martinez, Jack. Okay, so what is Superman without the powers? Like we said, Batman's like, so what, your parents are just dead? So what, are you just an immigrant?
He's an alien. Oh, without the powers. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You can't be an alien. He's an immigrant, apparently. Jag Gibby, Jack Harris, Jackson Parrish, Jacob Fatu. Sorry, you wanted me to say it in Braun Strowman as well. Jacob Vetu, Jacob Fatu, Jacob Fucked You, Jacob Mueller, Jacob Pena, Jacob Staffel, Jaden Davis, Jaden Solomon Jones, Jake Chavoya, Jason De Dios, Jason Vane, Javier Rodriguez, Jay Henry, Jalen Steele, Javion McDuffie, Jay Angel, JC Worley, Jen Carlos Capellan, Jeremiah Finley, Jeremiah Kelly, Jay Franco, Jahihi Ahihi, JJ J-Man, Joe Velez, Joey Romig, Johnny Moore, Johnny Owens, Jordan Lynch, Josby, Juicy J, Juliana Sarfi, Justin Brooks, Justin Perkins, Caleb Martin, Kevin Bega, Keon P, Kuwaiti Rick Boogs, LA Knight Glaze All Over My Body, Liam, Life of Brian, Lil Shifu, Luis Jimenez, Mark, Marnie YCSM, Matt Bozer, Matthew Dollar, Matthew Watkins, Mossy, McQueen, Mackay, Meredith Lee, Michael Carlson, Michael Purnell, Michael Paz, Michael III, Michael Vera, Miguel Paredes, Mitchell X, Mohammed Albanai, the homie, Nathan Tully, Nighthawk, Nina O'Reilly, NyQuil Pad, Noah Booth, Noah Burden, Obi Nobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Obion, Oil Up Now Santi, Oliver Hammonds, Pat R, Pat McMark, Pim Caw, Frody, Prince Vegeta, Proceed with Caution, Puppet Spanker Johnson, Rawest of All Daddies, Reacher, Reaper God, Reese, Ricardo Ramirez, Rick Marr, Ricky Dutcher, Robert Rogers, Roy Schruffo, Ruben Sanchez, Ryan Spradley, Riley, Sam Duke, Sancho doesn't get a safe space, Sancho's opinions over Santi's opinions, Santi versus is Mr. Iguana, Santi is the second best streamer in the podcast, Santi lives in Canada, Sauce God, Saudi Rick Boogs, Savage Bay, Scream
got
of Scott,
you there.
Semba,
He got you there. You live in Canada, you son of a gun.
Seymour Butts, Shaggy WWE, Shane, Shitsane Nakamura, Sip God, Sir Alberton, Slime Manny, Slowtoke Rodriguez, Stephanie Vacque, Lookalike Contest in My Bedroom, Stephen Corby, Super Malachi Galaxy, Taco Bullfish, Taman Bryan.
Can't you say Stephanie Vaquer? Why do you have to do Vaquer?
That's what his name is. He changed it to Vaquer.
But you said that during the pod. You said Vaquer.
Oh, that
confused me.
Yeah, it's just funny because we were talking about her and Nikki Bella, and Nikki Bella called her Stephanie Vaquer.
You are a funny guy.
I know. Taco Bullfish, Taman Bryan, the 17-time undisputed dumbass or nightmare, Vanilla Joe Rilla, the final boss, Bloodline Rules, Timmy C, Toasty, a.k.a. the Fraxium guy, Tobias Burnett, Tom Lehman, Tom Cerati, Trent Head, Trevor Harder, Trey and Catherine Love Wrestling, Two Slapped Cupid, Tycho, Tyler Logan, Tyler McGarry, Tyron, V. Charles, Venom, Void Z, Juan Pablo III, White Mexican, William Newton, Wrestling is Goon, Xavier T. Lewis, Wrestling is Goon, Zach Zvira, Deadshot, Yo Girls Account, you stupid, my dick. Zach Griffin, Zach Hewitt, Zach Butcher, Zane, A2K, Zeke Love, Zergzito, Lord BBNJ. Thank you guys very much for being $15 patrons. Thank you so much for your vote of confidence. Everyone else, you guys take care. Be wonderful people, and we'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everybody.